Trees again. When I go down. High out of my mind, looseness in my waist, not to answer shame. Washing up my spine, making up my face, not to answer shame. They don't know me already. When it comes to a party, I just wine and go down and wine and go down and wine and go down. Full stop. And everybody, they just talk about me with my hand in the air and rum in my head. Why not doing it? Till I hold on, babe. 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 Well, all of my friends, them is bad influence. I have not to answer shame. Bring the cameraman. You could put me on Instagram. I have not to answer shame. You don't know me already. Look about the body. I just turn up the vibes, don't stop. And everybody, they just call me crazy. With my hand in the air and rum in my head. Why not doing it? Till I hold on, babe. 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 On the avenue, out here on the road, I have not to answer shame. No shame. I'm showing off my costume, yes. Leave me, let me bloom. I have not to answer shame. No shame. You don't know me already. Me and my posse, we just mash up the stage and just refuse to get off. All who don't like it, well, them can bite me. This is my country, my carnival, that is why I'm showing off. I'm doing it till I hold on, babe. 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 Till I hold on.
3 minutes after 10 o'clock. Yeah. Chill out, hold on. Get in the mood. 2% radio, 98% love. Just to eat CARLYLE.
It's CTV Multimedia Saturday Show on radio. 90.3, 96.7, 101.3, Nights Radio.
I'll take a commercial sponsor the cards and be right back. Stick around.
When all is said and done, Jennifer Shiverton's Wholesale remains the one to be reckoned with. It's the place for the best in mattresses in all sizes, upholstery foam for your cushions and seats in all sizes, all types of pillows, toilet tissue, a long range of soft drinks including Fruta, Buster, Orchard, canned and bottled Coca-Cola and Sprite, and Trini Fresh Orange Juice, plus the very best saltfish on the market, all priced to meet your pocket. It's located opposite Greenfinger at Upper Middle Street in Kingstown and opens Mondays to Saturdays, 7:30 a.m. until 4:30 p.m. It's the place where quality matters and the price on your side. Jennifer Shiverton's Wholesale. Call 456-2814. That's 456-2814.
Welcome to Subway, where you can always have it your way. My name is Stacy. What can I make for you?
Hey, Stacy. I'll have a chicken teriyaki salad. All veggies, please. And for my daughter, Naomi, a pizza. Naomi, what would you like to have on your pizza?
Pepperoni bacon.
They've got tomatoes as well.
Pepperoni bacon.
What about some fresh onions, corn, pineapple?
Pepperoni bacon.
Naomi, you can also have olives, jalapeno, extra meat.
Nope. Pepperoni bacon.
Stacy, can I have one chicken teriyaki salad, all veggies, please, and a pizza with pepperoni and bacon?
You can have it your way.
Come into our uptown or downtown location today or order on your favorite delivery app. Subway. Have it your way.
Now, let's be real. We're not all police officers, but we all want to safeguard our finances. And that's why the Police Cooperative Credit Union is open to everybody. That's right. We cater for anybody. At a brand new location, too. Step up to the Police Cooperative Credit Union headquarters on Bay Street between Diamond Girl and Lanes number 2. And we provide a range of top-class financial services, including fixed deposits, quick cash, savings, and loans, and a survivor's benefit grant of $5,000. We're open 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Monday to Friday and up to 11:30 on Saturday. Check us out on Facebook or call Police Cooperative Credit Union at 485-6840. And remember, even if you're not a police officer, we're cool with that.
Looking to upgrade your home without breaking the bank? Now's the perfect time. District Stairs huge independent sale. Get up to 45% off on selected items, including luxury vinyl planks, waterproof laminate, crown molding, baseboards, and more. So whether you're transforming your floors or adding the perfect finishing touch with elegant trims, we've got you covered. Hurry on in today. These deals won't last long. Visit District Stairs in the Russell Shopping Mall at Stony Grounds and turn your home into the masterpiece it deserves to be. District Stairs, quality you can trust, prices you can afford. Call us right now, 456-7649.
Air filters, oil filters, fuel filters, disc pads and brake shoes, clutch disc, pressure plates, rotor plates, engine parts, fan belts, timing belts, oil seals, spark plugs, radiators, radiator hoses, water pumps, universal joints, suspension parts, KYB Japanese shocks for Toyota, Nissan and Suzuki, tie rods, rack ends, ball joints. You can also get accessories, cleaning supplies, polishes, titanium tint, black tint, Valvoline motor oils, Toyota and Honda motor oils, transmission fluids, Michelin wiper blades, headlights, corner lights, HID kits, HID bulbs and ballast, LED bulbs, and much, much more can be had at Automax Auto Parts. Automax goes the extra mile and spend the extra dollar to ensure that you get first quality Japanese auto parts. Come see the difference at our showroom opposite the basketball court in Camden Park. Call us at 458-2000 or 529-2070. Visit us on Facebook, Automax Auto Parts. Drive the extra mile to get the best first quality auto parts.
Please note that we open on Sundays from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m.
Sound Blast Entertainment exclusive rentals. We have LED bars, LED chairs, LED tables, trussing, speakers, and stage available. Bring your event to life with exclusive party rentals. For more information, contact 1-784-493-1361. 1-784-493-1361.
Wow. 9 minutes after 10 o'clock, 9 minutes after 10 o'clock. Quote of the day. Impossible. Impossible is for the unwilling. The words of Mr. John Keats. Mr. John Keats was an American writer. What is the American writer and biographer? Yeah. John Keats, born October 31st, 1795, died on February 21st. February 23rd, 1821. Was an English poet and why did I say American up to the top? Was an English poet of the second generation of Romantic poets. Yeah. Because until my last breath, I would give thanks unto the Lord in thought, word, and deed, no matter my circumstance. Because with prayer, it comes faith. With faith comes confidence. With confidence comes action. Action with perseverance and strength. We try our best to try our best and ask Jesus to help with the rest. Lord, help me to dwell in the awareness of your goodness and mercy each day. May I be the vessel of your love to others. Open my eyes to recognize your leading me in every circumstance and teach me to follow after you. In Jesus' name. Amen. The last one, words of Mr. Gregory Mandrell. Condolences to the family of Mr. Dennis Joshua. Deepest condolences to you. Yeah. Get well wishes. Well, home, boy. Dengue is a rough thing. Yes. Up to yesterday, I encountered, I say a new customer. Well, the deal ain't sealed yet, but just about. Who had a bout of dengue, Yeah, so get well wishes to Doug Howard, Art Valentine, Zan George, Leon Big Samuel, Leroy Mulray, Granville Straker, Eddie D. Freitas, Sil McIntosh. Spoke to Bayless on Sunday, I think. Yeah. Bayless, how you doing? 100 plus. 100. 10 days. Yeah. 100 years and 10 days and still going strong. Yeah. Good morning to you, Bayless. Tant, how you doing? Good morning. The Calico Massive and crew. V. O'Kelly. Woodsy. Inspector Gadget. Naughty D. Cheetah. Mr. Keaton Miller. Sally from Glen. Cousin Carlos. Splinters, Guy Lowe, Leon DuPont, a.k.a. Kempes, Hammers, Shari Licious, Kwame Cipriani, Young Blood, Uncle Ian, Malicious, Millicent, Barry, Kaden, Never, Kevon, Giselle, Elvis in Baltimore, the partner Pincham in City View. Mrs. Alexis, yeah. She must wake up late this morning. Yeah. Good morning, Mrs. Alexis. Donna in New York City. Baby! Uncle Fabi in New York City. Mrs. Bland in New York City. Vernon, Mrs. Alexander in New York City. Huggy from the East. K.E. Woody Booker. Trevor. MVP Boots. I met a lady, but I didn't. Boy, my battery was dead. In the phone. Otherwise, I'd have put your name on the bigger list. Yeah. A lady from Layu. Yeah. Boy, I could do it some moments today. Yeah, man. Brought some in from this lady from Layu yesterday. Yeah. Big up to you. Shake Mr. Douglas. I listen to your program every morning. Yeah, I met another guy from Layu in town yesterday too. Yeah. You say, Mr. Dog, I've been in the mountains. Listening to you. And yeah. The Shepherd family from Kittel. Mr. Lewis at the uncles and CNR. Patrina and Rihanna at CNR. Lance and the crew at Jennifer Cheverton Wholesale. Including Miss Harry. Yeah, Lance, I see the boys, they passed me. What was that? Montrose. Good up Garden Gate there. Yeah. Leeward truck. Ruthie. Yeah, I still want a job under detention. She killing herself with that. Ruthie. Ron, Roger, Beverly, Shade, Pascal. You know, this are taking a deep breath when they're saying the next name. Maybe I shouldn't say it. Maybe I shouldn't say it. I wonder if she's grinning. She's from Grenada, you know. Radio audience, please excuse me. That's a private joke. That's a private joke. They must have been put Randy's drinks before. Miss Cambridge Jamal General Eva Alton Shibby Sturdy K.E. Trevor Woody Slim-tastic Wilfred Nathan Skelly Maggie Slim-tastic with the fried chicken, yeah. Marty, Joanna, Miss D, Mrs. D, Indy, Aisha, Taiwan, Glody, diggity down, diggity down, Shabazz, Angel Monet, Snappy, Nyron and the crew. Nyron probably heading to Connecticut, Boston, yeah, on the highway, you're always on the highway, yeah. Good morning to you. You know what, city people believe good ideas deserve good company. Therefore, a good company deserves good ideas because success is the potential destiny of all creative thought. We combine artistry with today's technology to go from concept to reality. Under the theme is when you do well, we look good. When you do well, we feel good. See, I told you I needed the mints. You know, the Bible says I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. Yeah. So let's do it. Now I'm gonna throw out a couple of freebies. Okay. This is goodwill. Frank B. Armstrong. Samuel, good morning. How you doing? Something for Frank B. Armstrong. Frank B. Armstrong is looking for a truck driver and also a salesperson. Yeah, man. Frank B. Armstrong located in BG Highway. Yeah. Tell Mr. Samuel you heard about it right here on City View Saturday Show. Tell his partner, Kialai sent you. All right, and also Promax Tires, located in Chauncey. Is hiring, yeah. Someone behind the counter, you know. Help with administrative things, you know. Yeah. Promax Tires, Chauncey. Tell Mr. Mac. Tell Kialai. Tell Mr. Mac Kialai sent you. And of course, to advertise on City View Saturday Show, the number to call is 491-9140. Because it's when you do well, we look good. Or when you do well, we feel good. Should be starting next week. We're starting a brand new initiative called Around the Town Deals. Where I'll be going around Kingstown, and going around Kingstown and looking for deals. Call it in a nice radio. Yeah. Call it in a nice radio and be live on Facebook at the same time. telling your customers, yeah, Christmas is coming. Christmas is coming. Boy, last time I checked. Excuse me. Oh yeah. I have my water. Yeah, man. Christmas is in 88 days. Yeah. So like I said, around the town deal. Phone call and nice radio. Live on Facebook. Yeah. So you're interested in that, give me a call. 491-9140. Present time in St. Vincent and Grenadines on 22 minutes after 10 o'clock. Time check is brought to you with the kind compliments of Accent Dental. Accent Dental, of course, is a dental service. Formerly located in the Ken Miles Mall, now Lower Kingston Park. Lower Kingston Park, better parking and good stuff. Plus, they almost got City View. Yeah. Good view of Kingstown. Yeah. Accent Dental. Opening hours Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. And of course, you can call them. Telephone number 528-6997. Tell them, of course, you heard about it right here on City View Saturday Show. Tell them Carlisle says thank you. Time check also brought to you with the kind compliments of Games Pharmacy. Yes, Games Pharmacy. Games Pharmacy. Located on Back Street, opposite Star Garage. Yeah. Opening hours 7 a.m. until midnight, and sometimes later. Yeah. Games Pharmacy. Tell them, of course, you heard about it right here on City View Saturday Show. Tell them Carlisle says thank you. Time check also brought to you with the kind compliments of Smart Solutions. Smart Solutions specialize in electronic repair, from phones to tablets to desktop computers and even some smart TVs, with special focus on Apple products. To get smart, Smart Solutions 527-9073 is the number to call. Located upstairs, the Reliance Building. Smitty's Apartment and Auto Rental. Smitty's Apartment and Auto Rental. Airport pickup 455-0637. Are you coming in from the call? Give Smitty a call. Tell them, of course, you heard about it right here on City View Saturday Show. Tell them Carlisle says thank you. And you can give the gift of reading. Give the gift of reading by Vincentian author and mental health therapist, Danielle Cleveland Blank. Yes. Several books on Amazon, including a book that she wrote about adventures of coming to St. Vincent as a child. Yeah. Denise Fabian Blanda. You can check her website out at deefbland.com. One of my favorite books is Dad's Whole Heart. It's an interactive journal to deepen the connection between dads and their daughters. This journal celebrates the dynamic relations between dads and their daughters and normalizes the ups and downs of their relationship. Available at Amazon.com. Time check also brought to you the kind compliments of Flick. Remember, one click and they're gone. 457-1857 is the number to call. Aroma Products. Free on-site inspection in Kingstown and surrounds. And even if you're not in Kingstown and surrounds, you too can benefit from the free on-site inspection. 457-1857 is the number to call. Tell Mr. York you heard about it right here on City View Saturday Show. Tell them Carlisle says thank you. Time check also brought to you with the kind compliments of Express Data Systems. Express Data Systems, yeah. Express Data Systems, opening hours Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. I was supposed to check with them. They were supposed to get some new printers in. 456-1128 is the number to call. Opening hours Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Check them out also for your printer cartridges. Tell them, of course, you heard about it right here in City View Saturday Show. Tell them Carlisle says thank you. Time check also brought to you with the kind compliments of Jennifer Cheverton Wholesale. Jennifer Cheverton Wholesale. You have a shop. You have a supermarket. You're on the Leeward side. Jennifer Cheverton is making deliveries on Wednesdays and Saturdays on the Leeward side. Yeah, so your car, you might just get in the truck. If they ain't catch you on the way down, they catch you on the way up. Yeah. 456-2814 is the number to call. Check them out for 3 Horses Malt, Ginseng Up, Cool Kids, Solita Coat, Cage Racks, Solo, Mountain Dew. Potatoes and onions. Pillows and mattresses. Jennifer Cheverton Wholesale. Time check also brought to you with the kind compliments of Time Center General Store. Mr. Jackson and Mrs. Daswani celebrated 25 years of clock and watch repair in SBG in the Ken Miles Mall. 455-6735 is the number to call. Time check also brought to you with the kind compliments of Jamar General. Jamar General says, you're building or renovating? Then you should consider UPVC windows available at Jamar General Services. Built, tried, and tested for a tropical climate. Also, check out Jamar General for your PVC pipe and your PVC pipe accessories. Check them out also for your building electrical needs. 457-2725 is the number to call. Time check also brought to you with the kind compliments of Nai's International Logistics, Shipping, Packaging, and Moving. Nai's International, New York City. (347-500-9142). Boston. 617-594-2283, or right here in SVG, 784-455-5600. When you can't wait on the barrel, when you need it now, Nai's International Logistics, Shipping, Packaging, and Moving. All right, the next customer, I'm supposed to call them live, so I'm setting that up as we speak. Bear with me. All right, WhatsApp says, good morning to my nice radio family. This is Maureen Richards from Bonham. Good morning to all. Yeah. Buenos dias, Carlisle. Blessings from everyone. Bobo locked on from Puerto Rico. Good morning to you, Bobo. All right. Yeah. Well, we'll probably try and bring that back later. Yeah, couldn't not link up with the customer. Maybe. Time check also brought to you with the kind compliments of Trending. Trending located opposite the barracks in the market. Yeah, shop in the market. Trending. Bringing in small electronics. What you supposed to have here? Tomo Tree cafe style beverage holders. Yeah. I think 14 hours cold or 8 hours hot. On special for the customers here at Nice Radio. Check out Trending. Deliveries, free deliveries to the Grenadines. Telephone number to call is 492-8320. Also, deliver at Kingstown and surrounds. Trending. Yes. And present time is in the Grenadines is 10:35. And This was supposed to be set up already, but it's time for. Here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go. Like I said, I quote Mr. Keats this morning. Mr. John Keats says, and this was since the 1700s. He said that the impossible is for the unwilling. And Mr. Razam Shallow says, where there's a will, there's a way. It's time for perseverance and strength. For the young Big Samuel, it's your turn, Tabar. Good morning, my brother. How are you?
Good morning, my two brother and friend. Good morning to you, Charlie. Good morning. You know, every time I hear this song, and I want to say good morning to Razom family. I want to say good morning to them. He's not here with us anymore, but you all need to know that we do appreciate this song from him. Trust me, the most powerful song he ever wrote and leave behind for us. Carla, I say, and me too, think he should replace the national anthem, this song here. Trust me. Who don't want to believe that? You hear it, you know, these days, you pay attention, everybody who's doing some kind of big time speech, Carla, they're speaking about perseverance and strength, And Carla is a great song, it's a wonderful song. I want to say good morning to Razom family. Because we are from Marapua, this song is a great song. So, Carla, we had another interesting week. We had. So let me use this opportunity to hail up some true and genuine people around me, like my friend in Greg, Rastaman Asa. Good morning to you, Asa. Good morning, and to the Greg Patties them, because one of them we reached this morning. Because of this, okay, thank and good morning to all of you who will be listening to us. This program is not only being promoted by you all alone, because here it is. I was listening to a program on Sunday, and I heard an individual basically, and their program was telling Vincent and you all must listen to this program on a Saturday. And a matter of fact, I will call this the Pat Curry, the Pat.
Potpourri, is it? Potpourri, yeah, potpourri. Yes. Potpourri,
yes, exactly. Mm-hmm. Program segment. Well, this is my program. That segment here, it's Potpourri. Potpourri segment from Bigger Big Red. It's Potpourri, and this was said by my friend Joel. And I tell you, Joel, really, you're redeeming yourself, or not? Because from the time I knew you, something I knew is when I was working at Flour Mill. And I had not much admiration for a black man like me and the wonderful job you were doing. And when you went to Korea and you emerged to be the manager, I wasn't surprised. Because I personally thought that you're a decent man. But I was wondering how you could have gotten yourself mixed up with those people. Because I better make a phone call on this to ask Cecilia, if Cecilia and Pidgeot, if you are allowed to be on the program tomorrow, no? Because I could have heard it when you make the point. And here is, Carla, you know, is my workout partner, let me to know what Pat Puri is, you know. Because I didn't know about, she educated me and said, bigger Pat Puri is one of the sweetest, a combination of different spices you can put together and see that thing sweet bad. And that is why Joel called it Pat. You could get the health aspect of it. So he promote the health aspect of it, and you could get the Pat Puri. So any aspect you get, you know that you're going to be something sweet. And I really want to commend you, Joel. Trust me, because I know that you're supposed.
Bobo is sending me a message, says, Carla, you got high ratings on the Sunday show. But I tell you the truth, I went to look for it because a lot of people told me about it. And it seems like they cut it out because I didn't hear it.
I will not disbelieve, because trust me, you think it's easy when you know you got a program hosting. And I'm not saying this will get them to be so angry, Joel.
Yeah.
I'm just talking the truth. And Joel is on their program is telling people who to come and listen to this program on a Saturday. They think it's easy, Carl.
There are other programs. Let me do something. Let me do the unthinkable. All you listen to the Sunday program, you hear? I'm recommending the program. Listen to the program. Listen, we are out to build a new St. Vincent.
Exactly.
You hear?
And
look at me, I ain't your enemy. We walk on common ground. We don't need to fight each other. What we need is solidarity.
Exactly. And Carl, I just tell persons, as long as you are full of confidence in yourself, Carl, you don't afraid nothing and nobody else. You know what I mean? When you have confidence, it's when you have confidence, Carl, then you have to be a fear. You have to be a fear. But me, I'm full of confidence. I ain't gonna fear. That's the reason why I said some program I go there about my friend Yankee Girl. Back, who couldn't find the plates. Although he was my biggest competitor. You know what I mean? Well, he made himself a competitor to me. I'm afraid to tell him where to go and get the plates them, because I am confident that nobody can make a better black than us. They talk about black, Carl. I remember we would have had a particular black where by now you could have got I used to make a black car line, and I was going to bring in a machine to do it commercially, because I used to do it to the grinder. When they take off a 16 after the black face, make for rubber sand, whether you make it when you use some red cement or you use some brown cement, when they take off that split after the face, it look like natural terrazzo. That's the black I was going to introduce to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So I heard Icon was saying that people were saying that big blacks was that master blacks. Because these blacks, some of them get to know these days, they're taking out the blacks out of the truck, and the blacks are breaking hand. But they used to go, any one of them used to go, and just put up, when they reach one site, dump up in the air, dump the blacks them. Dump the dumpling them. So I don't know why they're speaking, but no, that's what Rav destroyed. Rav destroyed the only black factory that could have been reached places in this country, Vincent. And I don't know why I'll talk about no. Don't talk about it. Then when I was dealing with Ralph, and I was still dealing with Ralph. Still dealing with Ralph. No. That is the kind of product I was putting out there. I wasn't doing no substance. It's serious money I would have invested to get to that level. It was not walking in the park. And I watch Ralph destroy that. And who want to love Ralph when I love Ralph. Too bad for them. But I don't want to forget this. Good morning. A pleasant happy birthday to you, Dr. Friday. I never knew that today, with that date today, would have been your birthday. So good morning. A pleasant happy birthday to you, Dr. Friday. You are me bigger bigs. I don't know if the rest of the country. Me bigger bigs leader. My prime minister, you, Dr. Friday, is. So good morning and happy birthday to you. And here is Scarlett. And I'm so happy to know that he's a Libra. And Bayless almost fall into the liberal line too, because that will make you Stas Bayless and now Friday for sure is a Libra. And bigger bigs too. My birthday next week. Bigger big birthday next week. So here I say like the Scarlett. 3 weeks is the case. We have a fair judge to face. What we are gonna do? Ralphie, what we are going to do? Oh, Ralphie, what we are going to do? In 3 weeks' time, Carla the case. So we're having a wonderful birthday and independence. This October here. Next week will make bigger birthday. So I'll hear to see they will put up a different birthday. So do it for me. The real birthday is next week. It's my birthday, Carla. That is a big birthday.
October born like me.
I'm happy. The best month in the year is Libra month, October. I'm an October man, just like you, Stas, just like Friday now. We all are Libras, you know what I mean? And Friday, and as I said, Bailey's almost just barely missed it. Barely missed it. So my brother Dr. Wendell Samuel told he's a Libra man too. But that fact, he and my birthday the same date. Same date. We only just different year, but we same date birthday. Dr. Wendell Samuel, yeah. It's 2nd October. Yep. I'm a Libra man, Carla. I'm a Libra man. I'm happy to be a Libra man because the good people born in the Libra month. So Carla, I was overheard and Carla, you have to congratulate you, Carla. You have to do some serious pushing. Carla, I remember days then, Carla, when we used to do 13 buckets of banana. When I tell people that, Carla, we used to sell 13 buckets of green banana every day at the kitchen, you know. When we had put up, and so we used to use 7 cooking gas. Carla, it wasn't like that. It was 7 cooking gas, 20-pound cylinder gas. We used to lick up a day. Lick up a day, 20 cylinder of gas. Because you know why? We used to sell about banana. And this is part Joel might like too. Like Joel said this body program. You see banana got what they call resistant starch inside it. It doesn't spike your blood sugar. That's the reason why I used to live on green banana and saltfish every day. I used to live on green banana and saltfish. Because it's kind of like ask me, because look at the 4-wheel drive. We used to cultivate 40 acres of land just to get banana to feed the kitchen, you know. 13 and a half pigtail bucket, 13 bucket, when I say bucket, those pigtail bucket full of banana a day. We used to do so, Mr. So Brian Darset, listen to this. One of the men who used to push a lot of local food in this country here was me. We at Phoenix Kitchen. That is the kind of record Phoenix Kitchen held in that tongue there. Right now, you could go to almost every other food outlet in town now and find pie and chicken. We introduced that. Tell them that, Carla, we introduced that at Phoenix Kitchen. That you could go and we will tell them the pie and chicken now. We introduced that. You never mash up the place with pie and chicken in the morning. But as time get extended, the cheese price start to go through the roof. And just like this fish, me let's say we start to import fish just now. Imagine that we got the largest fish in water in the whole region. As if we go import fish, really well done, Soboto and Ralph. I have done a wonderful job. You need a medal.
Bigger. Let me throw a little sauce on this.
Yeah, we have to talk everybody.
No. And well, since then, I haven't been out there. But let me not say what company I was representing. I represented a company going out to beachcombers for a consultation with some persons from overseas about 3.5 years ago. In that consultation, they had, I remember Minister Straker, Louis Straker made a speech there. And they had permanent secretaries from several of the ministries there. And what those people presented was exactly what is happening now. Those people said, viewing by satellite, our fishing supply is dwindling. And we need to put measures in place to manage our fishing supply. Part and parcel was the proper disposal of plastics. Okay, so when the plastic ban went into, well, they tried to put the plastic ban into effect.
When they tried, they never did it.
I thought that was part of it. Another part of it was to discourage fishermen from bringing in young fish. Small robin and what's not. They said even the rock fishermen, you have to manage that. I never saw any kind of message coming from any of those ministries.
Wow.
With regards to managing our fish, our fishing supplies, our fishing stock. So they just left it.
No, we got rainforest. We bring in rainforest, Carla. You know, so that we brought in rainforest.
Oh,
we brought in rainforest.
God. And not only that, I ran into Bishai yesterday. Big up to Bishai. You know, how many programs we spoke about with regards to what the Ministry of Agriculture is trying to implement now with regards to backyard gardening and all this fancy stuff. You know, all this fancy stuff. All this fancy stuff that they're talking about now. But you know, and I realized after the meeting, you know, I spoke to a couple guys in Layu, telling them what to expect. And it's like, you know, so but it seemed to me like it would have been unpopular. It would have been unpopular, you know, because in a lot of ways, fishing is a way of life. Fishing, you know, there's some people that would go down to the beach, you know, and help pull the seine and get to fish, and that's how they're eating for the day.
That's how they get protein for the day.
Yes, that's how they get their protein for the day, you know. And you know, so to kind of put a wedge in that cart. As a matter of fact, you know, I think it was about a year and a half ago, there was no fish coming in Jackson Bay for the longest while. The diver don't live too far from me. He would go out and, you know, I asked him, hey boy, he say, I don't know what happened, no fish.
But Carly, my brother and friend, what is happening in this country right now, it should be a wake-up call for Vincent. There's a lot of things that is happening in this country under Ralph and his government, who are going to come down on Vincent and one of these like a ton of brick. Let's like how this news here for fish importation just come down and we had like a ton of bricks. It's just so the whole economy will come down one of these days and not Vincent. You're going to crush us into the ground, but you're not going to catch me now because I am very, very focused on a lot. Carly, I was listening to the program again. A matter of fact, I had to call in. And this is where I will now go into my meeting, my presentation now. I had to call in. Because they were there one day and okay then, Bigger had it right because Bigger was using his using the lands and then add value to it and like with the same banana and terrier. That's how it came up. That's how I was able to come up with this. So but some persons can say that weeks now. Lancelot Weeks was what was giving Bigger this credit. Not that I'm out of lands. I'm not out of lands. The lands are there. A matter of fact, Boy James, good morning to you, Boy James. I know that you're out there. Boy James must give me about nearly 40 pounds of dry nuts, dry peanuts from the same lands. And not just peanut alone. Corn. I was able to get my grain corn because I love grain corn, Carly. People don't realize that you say grain corn, and I don't want it mixed in the flour to make dumplings. Give me the grain corn with 2-3 green tea, and that's all I want. I get my dumpling right there because flour is not a decent and clean food to eat. Because, and I want persons to know this, so more you eat food with fiber, you feed in your microbiome, your good bacteria, your microbiome, you're feeding it. And when you feed the microbiome, you get hungry less. So you don't eat a lot. So right now, my meal is down to just one meal a day, Carly. One single meal a day I eat, because I eat things. When I eat, I take to feed my microbiome, my good bacteria, so I don't have to consume a whole ton of food. So flour, and even this nice, just healthy thing about it, and say so healthy. Oats is not as healthy as some people think, because it block up the pathway in a small intestine that have to send nutrients to your body. So I don't eat oats. I don't want no oats. Me children have sent us oats, that steel cut oats for me. Me give them away. I give all the steel cut oats because not to get the oats in them is not as healthy. The food that is coming on the market now, Carly, is local. It's the food that we got the locally grown food like breadfruit and banana and dashing and sweet potato. Those are the food and breadfruit and breadfruit fries, Carly. And I will go continue to it now, Carly. Hear this, Carly. So I have to kind of the program. And let me let Vincent know. For those who might not know, who didn't know like Lancelot Weeks, I closed down all our businesses. I closed them down this time. And not Ralph closed them down. Me closed down all of them this time. Because you know why? Phoenix Kitchen closed down. Because people and the bakery and everything closed down because people, Vincent, because of what is mind Vincent and what is minded more than Ralph. Who, because I am campaigning against Ralph, will want to put a black in my way to tell me no, bigger, me can't go buy from bigger than bigger, I run down Ralph. But who the hell is Ralph? I don't deal with Ralph. And who the hell are the thing Ralph is? But so I close the business them down, close them down, because I am going to get to make sure I get all the room to campaign against Ralph this election. Because look at it, y'all ever hear Ralph go after Curtis Bowman the way he went after me? Curtis Bowman the candidate, but many man who put the shaking from Gowling. When I done shake Gowling in 2010 election, 2009 into referendum into 2010 election, I almost sent Ralph and then crazy. Does you ever hear Ralph criticize Curtis? No, merely man, but because we Curtis there was hard worker like myself and Bannister Hector, Monroe Hector, and Ben Clark, but would have been history. But I don't like to. I don't like watching the candidate. I don't like to work with lazy candidates. For me, you have to be a hustler. If you Curtis was only a hustler like how we was hustling, Jordan would have been no more since 2010. That reason I went up to. He went to the same Richmond Park where Curtis live and come from. Hey, who deals up there? You have a man for the valley. Hey, want to be politician? Tell him to leave politics alone. And me big who he went up and deal with. So who the hell is Ralph? And then everyone will beg me, brother. I tell her already, He alive, Carfy alive. Brother ask Carfy and Ralph. If it's true that Ralph would have begged Carfy to ask me not to campaign against him in 2015. But look here, Ralph, come this time, Ralph. I only back up because I had Phoenix Kitchen to deal with. I was setting up Phoenix Kitchen. But Ralph, I'm taking you head on this election, Ralph. You're taking a big look, take you head on. So, Mr. Weeks, Lanford, no, I right now, I am backing out of business because I want to deal with Ralph. People think that Ralph is somebody who got all the brave, but hear this. Hey, what are going to give him sense now? You see that facility we're talking about for agriculture in Yambule? It's going to generate, with that being built, it's going to create serious confidence among the farming community. And the farming, that is what's going to drive the country. That farming, that project they call it. Here, how you going to happen now, Carla? And Major don't say which aspect of it you want. And when I finish with that, the people see me don't understand where I'm going with this. Major say you want the tea aspect of it. The tea aspect right now in the country, right now, in the world right now, because I'm not dealing with Tim Vincent alone. I'm dealing with a worldwide. You think about going nowhere? Tea business is a $7 billion business. $7 billion business throughout the world. That is what it is, the tea business value out there right now. It's a $7 billion business. And it's made to get the tea aspect of it. Well done to Central Kingston. Because you're talking about avocado tea, avocado seed tea. So all the avocado are eating, all you want, all eat the avocado and keep the seed them and bring them. We will buy them from you all and process them and turn them into tea bag. You're talking about guinea pepper. You're talking about the ginger tea. You just name it, body Mia bush. You just name it everything and we'll make tea and generate some serious money from that. Because here you're going to happen, Carla. Remember this facility in Yambu will be having its own power from solar and hydro. You could do all the processing there. And so to the whole thing, Carla, which we process all the bush them to make the teas in Yambu. So do all the heavy lifting in Yambu and then they take it outside. So every constituency will get a piece of it. Not that tea you're talking about because tea belongs to Major. So I want to take my time. Who doesn't understand what they could ask you, Carla, and I will come back on the program and explain. So all the teas all the bush will be used. We get those big industrial dehydrators, dehydrate everything, and send the Major for to make tea. And as people of Central Kingston are talking about, that is a $7 billion business there, tea making. But the representative, love you all so much to say you want that. Hear this again now, Carla. We process all the mangoes, all the pineapples, and dehydrate those. And then the party now, the NDP, because I'm not going to give Ralph no idea. The NDP, we now would have to decide who we're going to give the trail mix, because I have to do the dry fruit. Can you dry out you dehydrate your mangoes. So no mango fall on all about going and mess up the whole place and the place look so unsightly. You dehydrate all the mangoes, you dehydrate all the pineapple. You didn't name me rest food that could put together. So you could have a trail mix with mangoes and dry and dehydrated pineapple in a bag, and those ready to be shipped abroad. You may say, St. Vincent will be yesterday too, but me not call anything like St. Vincent. So that could then go up, could go in another constituency now for what? Because that when they don't dehydrate those, they don't need no power again to keep them again. These are products that don't need no power again, because they don't dehydrate it, they're not going to spoil. They will last for years, like before they spoil. That is the key. That is the dehydration of a fruit that could make it your trail mix with, your trail packs with now. To eat. I mean, a trail now snacking healthy. They're talking about a healthy. This is talking about a health revolution now. You're talking about feed now, Carly. We want everybody to go back in the banana plant again, so you can want all the banana skins them, because you can dehydrate the banana skins. Nothing. What Kettle love to eat nothing else but pure. If you get a chance, Kettle eat down a whole banana field to get with, and eat up every bunch. So you dehydrate all of your skins of the bananas, and then you get fish. Because I am for one of these days. My wish is to own a tuna boat one of these days. Because I believe there's nothing you can make money from like having your own tuna vessel, and you get good people from the Trinidad or wherever to go and captain those ships and bring in those big tuna. When they come in those tuna, you got still tuna to sell, but you want the bone. You want everything like the bones and so from the tuna, and you dehydrate those, you grind them, and you put them into your banana skin, don't dehydrate, your yam skin, your potato skin, your dashing skin, and the edges. You just name them, and you dehydrate all of those, and then you make one big crush and blend. And then you do what? With that now, you send those, you have another constituency responsible for what? Bagging the feeds there, because when you hear those feeds on dehydrate, Carly, and you don't add all these different, you don't blend them, you don't do all the heavy lifting already. You could then take that again, half site again, to another constituency again, And I would like to see that aspect of business go inside Ralph's constituency. Send the project there for the feed bagging in Ralph's constituency. Send it there. That's what I could ask the NDP to do, please. And I'll have to do it. I'm telling you all how we are going to fix the country, constituency by constituency. Feed business in St. Vincent and Grenadines, that you all know, is a very big money owner for feed making. You go on now to dry spices, Carly. You see, you don't dehydrate your pepper. You don't dehydrate your chive. You don't dehydrate your French sticky thyme. All those nice dry seasoning. I would like to see that going to Lavon constituency, because out there we find Erica McIntosh. Erica McIntosh already have a war-renowned name already. So she could get all the pepper she wants. When you don't dehydrate pepper, you don't need nothing again, because pepper basically preserve its own self in its own oil and so forth. In its own oil and its own oil. So when they don't dehydrate pepper don't spoil again. So any amount to take it off site again and send it again in the constituency, level one constituency, and let it generate. What is pepper again? Value pepper again. That alone by itself, pepper sauce, is a $10 billion business again. And I didn't put the price for the feed, because feed is just more local. But that pepper business, so that information for the feed can be gathered locally right here. You know what I mean? Just go to the floor mill and get to how much is the estimated yearly cost of feed. You do that with the pepper and the dry seasoning. So I will like that, but I will like that going to Lavon constituency. Oil, Carly, coconut oil. And people, I am telling you all, and our land, we have close to 1,000 coconut trees here. Right now, dry coconut is going crazy now because everybody eating healthy now. You know, I just consume half of a dry coconut every day, Carla. You know the reason why? Carla, there's nothing help a memory like dry coconut, Carla. And I didn't realize it to people. I don't go on phone and just look for comments. I go on phone to teach myself. Coconut has a cholesterol that you only get from a mother's breast. And your body. Well done. Coconut oil, you know, it's a superfood, a matter of fact now. The reason why now you can't even get coconut to buy now, Carla. When you plant the coconut, I don't want no yellow nut and no red nut and all that kind of thing. They have nothing. From the time when they dry, they use this end right there. You got what they call the old school coconut to them. I will call the all-purpose coconut. You could get water from them to drink. When the coconut is younger, I leave it. If we get old, when it gets old, the value gone up significantly. So I would like to see the oil part of it go to who? Up in Chevron constituency. Because they my oil people them. Send that up there. Send the oil part up there. You see? Because coconut oil is have a massive $2 billion market out there right now. Send that out there. That's how we're going to build the constituency, and it could go on and on and on. But I don't want to say too much. So Friday, I'm telling you, this morning, when you hear you win, don't care how much it costs us to get that factory set up. Let's set it up. It's going to turn around St. Vincent, and I will bust my gut. Everybody want to be bigger. We're going to put it down. No, I am putting nothing in writing. If I to die with it, if Ralph Gonzalez, I have to get that to do. I was going to die with it. When I wanted was to go to meet with Ralph, everybody went crazy. I knew Ralph was going to meet with me. Ralph said he was going to meet with me because Ralph wanted to shut up. That's what Ralph wanted to do. Shut me up so I will not talk. But Ralph, I am not going to go nowhere with you. I will spill my gut if Friday. My good friend from the one from East Kingston. These are the kind of people I will spill my gut give. And the new agriculture man with a command, Conroy and those kind of guys, and you got Dr. Shalom and kind of guys who understand. I sure they listen right now, they understand where bigger business going to this morning. This plant down there will turn around cement and the cement because we will share us up. We'll send work in every single constituency, Ralph. I'll show you how we do the things, eh? I'll show you how this party that I support does the things. And it's too wicked. I really can never share no information about you. I have gotten the housing project what time already. Look, Joel, still alive. Ask Joel if you remember the exhibition they had when I said before Ralph even come into power, what you're seeing here with this black plant I brought here is the tip of the iceberg. Next thing here, Julian and Julian and Ralph start to build house all about. When they ask Julian, when did he get the idea to start this housing project here? Here, there, and everywhere. No, here, there, and everywhere. Oh, that big brain again, Julian. I was talking truth, and I let that to kill me, person. But if I think that was the only one I got, this one here will make all of them they look like Papi Show. Even the black plant can't compete with this one here, because this project here could generate over 500 million and up and more a year for Simmons and the Grenadines. They're talking about $500 million project and more. And more. Because I'm conservative with the figure, because it could be much more than that, Ralph and Julian. So no, Alan, not to Alan said, Alan, I deal with the stupid man here. I deal with somebody who does use their brain. Me not use the brain. So tell me how we go disseminate it throughout the country, to every constituency. Because they have to cut Maraqua again, because Maraqua is where the plant will really be. Maraqua and Andrew John, South Windward, is where the plant will really be. Because I'm a Maraqua man, and Maraqua is right between plant set up is between Maraqua and South Windward. Those will be covered already. So people in South Windward will come out and vote for Andrew to make sure we get the project. Come out and vote for whosoever the NDP bring for Maraqua, because I don't know who they're going to bring it. Whether it's Gypsy or who, because I do not want to get into the argument in nobody and who can go run for Maraqua. Who Dr. the Honorable Friday and Lika choose, I will go out and campaign, like joke with them, because we must take the city from Maraqua, from Maraqua here, and make sure Bernard, Giolen and Ralph, no more. They will never come back to them again. They're too damn wicked. And go and Carly, have a wonderful day. And if anybody who have any question about me, what I said, call me, call Carly, and let Carly say, bigger, call back in to answer this. They don't mind. I'm here for you all.
Alrighty. Having some technical difficulties with Restream. Doug, if you're listening, help! The main computer is wiggling.
Where there's a will, there's a way. Though the way that may seem it right unto you dismay. We were born to be free, but survive such rough history. Yet life still goes on in the battlefield. Our existence is a mystery. Coming to from the start, they learn how to beat me. Coming to from the start, they know we were strong. But I know enough is enough, cause I can't be tougher than tough. We could make every single dream come true. We gotta do what we gotta do. We got to fight on, get up, stop complain. This a universal pain. From sunrise to sunset, every day is a living strain. Fight on, never mind the sweat. You got to sweat to get every good seed you sow brings a fruit wherever you plant it. Perseverance and strength put together. Triumph in all its reign, follow after. Science reveal it's a shortened span, and time wasting is a crime. We must move in retaliation this time, and clean up racial oppression this time. Make way for the upcoming generation this time.
Captain, how you doing? Yes, Dougie. I can't see the people. I can't see the restream.
Go on the right hand side. There's an updated graded version, and somebody should have alerted you. I tell Nikki, write that down, you know. Look on the touch the body. Just touch the body on the right hand top. That's where the overlay is.
All right, I
And you will see it.
just restarted the computer. Spicy came in here and
You notice if the format is different. Is Natalie there?
no, Natalie's not here. Spicy is here.
Spicy is there. Yeah, it's on the right hand side now. You could see the participants.
I gotta wait.
Right
Because the computer is restarting. So
Yeah.
I gotta hold on.
Because I'm driving on the highway, so
All right.
I heard you. So I drive a car. But it's on the right hand side where you see the body is like on the right hand side. Once you touch it, it will open up that, but it won't stay open. We're trying to rectify that. I restarted the computer, it updated automatically, and that's a new format that they give you. Okay.
All righty.
All right.
I'll try.
The Spicy will show you where the participants are. Okay.
All right.
If there's anything, I'll call back. I'm heading back home, so I'll listen.
Okay then. All right, Dougie. We're working on it. Perseverance and strength in motion.
Fight on, get up, stop complain. It's a universal pain. From sunrise to sunset, every day is a living strain. Fight on, every family. Take it seriously. It is there we create and devise the path of our journey. Laziness and crime go together. Rougher times in the jail follow after. Signs reveal it's a shortened span and time wasting is a crime. Our talents we must employ this time. Grudge and selfishness we destroy this time. A future for every boy or girl this time.
Carlisle.
All right, demonstration of perseverance and strength there. We had some serious technical difficulties. But up and running. Yeah.
Help me. I see trouble coming on. Help me. Somebody help me.
Yeah, Dougie came in and helped me. Spicy came in and helped me too. Yeah.
I'm surrounded by music, the rhythm in my head. The sweet tunes they're playing got to move my body.
All right. I see.
Morning, Carlisle.
Remember the Doug? Yes. It's good to know that you're always around. Dr. Lee Doug is also there. All right.
How are you? How are you today?
Well, it seems like I don't know. I get like a little bit anxious when these things go bad, because you spend most of the week putting this thing together, and then all of a sudden, you come outside and you have a flat tire. And you no spare.
Yeah. I know the feeling, but somehow or the other, it levels itself back out.
Perseverance and strength. Well, we don't see
Yeah.
Captain Mac, and also my guess, well, boy, like everything that was supposed to go, end up getting stuck on that one day. So let me see if I see Mac. No, yeah, we got Mr. Mac. Good morning,
Yes.
Mr. Mac. How are you, sir?
Good morning. Good morning. I'm doing fine.
Morning,
Thank you.
Mark.
Good morning. Good morning, Doug. Is Doc
Yeah.
on? I think Odd might be listening, so let me take an opportunity to wish him a speedy and full recovery, him and Mrs. Ballantyne.
Yeah.
We'll indeed say a prayer for you both.
Yeah.
And you're missed, my friend, Odd. You're missed.
Yeah. We miss.
Yeah,
We miss.
very much so. Very
Yeah.
much so. I mean, I brought it. I think I brought it up in the chat that that you hadn't heard from him for for
Yeah.
some.
Yeah.
You brought him up that he gone MIA.
Yes.
Yes. And but these things happen from time to time. That's when we breathe in the breath of life. You run
Yep.
into these things, and that's okay. That's
Yep.
okay.
Yep.
Because that is the road that we have to travel from time to time. Every day won't be Sunday.
Yep.
Or
And
in this case,
and congrats on the good news, Doug. God is
yeah,
good.
man. God is great. God is
Yep.
wonderful. Blessings
Yep.
and mercies come down from the ancestors on top
Amen.
of us.
Amen.
I was listening as I listened to the program earlier. As this program started, I listened, and I was very intrigued that that bigger is listening the Sunday program too. and I am one of the people who is glad that people listen the program, because whether you like it or not, whether you agree or not, I believe you should listen the program. And I know one of my friends here in Brooklyn, he is a religious listener of all these programs. And one of the things that I sincerely agree with is that you must talk, you must speak. When you speak, you must speak from a point of information. And for instance, I will say certain things on the radio, and I would not say certain things on the radio. I don't believe in secondhand information from somebody else unless I could verify that information from a third or sometime a fourth on a fifth party before I could go with it, right? I think that is the journalism skills that journalists use all over the world. They must verify. And but if you hear it firsthand, you don't have to verify. And I agree with Bigger on Sunday with the program, and it is an interesting program that I listen to every Saturday, every Sunday, and certain prediction that I make off screen on a Saturday night with certain groups that I deal with, and I see that it manifests itself
All right,
sometime on Sunday.
stick up in there, Doug. We got somebody on the watch and the magic chat. Good afternoon, you're live.
Good afternoon or good morning.
Hey, good morning. How you doing, boy?
Morning.
So much stress. Time is yeah. Good morning, Mr. Fox. How you doing?
But I want to ask Doug if he know. I know the Prime Minister is in town. If he's gonna have having any town hall meeting today.
I don't know. I don't know if I could speak for Doug. I don't think.
Ask Doug. He should know. Doug Howard would know.
I think let him answer you. Doug, answer him now.
No, I don't know. I don't know, Mr. Fox, and I'm not really interested because I have done my part with the Prime Minister and his town hall meeting. So that has come to an end from Doug Howard point of view. So I'm not really interested in whether he here or not. I don't know, and I didn't have no information because I didn't seek no information, to be very honest.
No,
Because
Melo is
I
gonna
kind of passed that stage, Mr. Fox. I passed that stage with
Mm.
the Prime Minister. I went to about 20 of his town hall meeting since he attained office. I went there on different scopes. I was one of the first people to organize a protest against him coming and speaking, and I did that at least 4 or 5 times. I was one of the first people who went to his town hall meeting when he used to have it at Cafe Omar, and then he had it at the place on 95th and Church, and so on and so forth. So I've been going the thing for years, and basically it's the same nonsense you're hearing, the same rhetoric you're hearing over and over again, just the same food, but just on a different plate. I don't really interest in.
Camilo is going to be on this Sunday program tomorrow. Minister
Yeah,
Fox.
I know. That I heard last.
See, it's no love lost. I mean, we can give him a little promotion. Yes.
Yeah.
And
And
Mr.
but
Finance
Mr.
is going to be in the
Fox,
program tomorrow. Yeah.
but Mr. Fox, I would like to say this. You know, I heard you on a program ridiculing our program on Nice Radio, and you was on the sports program with Dougie that people don't give you no chance to talk. But Mr. Fox, you are disingenuous when you say that, because look, we haven't himself outlined what we are going to do today, and you already calling and we interact with you. Carl, I'll take the time out to stop me from what I'm saying, to interact with you, and this happen on a weekly basis. But then you say we just cut you off and we treat you bad, and you had my good friend Mr. Bramble supporting you with what you say. It's not true. It's not true. And I think you should apologize to Nice Radio for that, because it's not true. It's not true. It's not true. I heard you with Dougie.
Well, what happens sometimes?
And I think it's disingenuous. I think you're disingenuous if you continue on that path.
What happens sometimes? I might say something for 30 seconds, and then somebody interject, and they go on for 10, 15 minutes. And I can't get back in. If I do get back in, it's a different subject. I no longer, I don't get to finish. Sometimes I'm saying something, I don't get to finish, and Doug the Freitas might interject, and he's going on for 5, 7, 10 minutes. And when I do get a chance to talk, it's something else I have to go to. I can't get to finish whatever I was saying.
But
Mr. Fox, to
this program,
and you have four panelists.
If you call in
program, so when everybody make their contribution, I'm on for 10, 15 minutes while I only get 30 seconds worth of conversation.
That is not true. That does never happen. That does never happen. Mr. Fox, I don't know. I'm not forcing you to apologize, okay? But I'm having some technical difficulties here, so I understand I'm under fire. But we have a significant program to do today. And
like I remember talking about sandals, but before I finish, Doug the Freitas coming. He talking about INS. He talking about agriculture. He talking about
that goes with what I've said to you a couple.
And I didn't get to finish.
A couple weeks ago, that you got upset with me. You know, it's difficult when you're walking in shoes in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. You understand? Your priorities are different. You hear me? It's different. It's different when you go to the fruits and vegetables stand, little corner store, and they got 4 pieces of ginger for $10. You understand me? Things are different when you're here. Is there boy yesterday? Yesterday.
Everybody
Let me tell you
say that.
something. Let me explain something else to you.
Some people. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I had to buy used tires yesterday. Usually I buy new tires because I think it makes sense. But I had to buy used tires yesterday. You know how much is a used tire now in St. Vincent and Grenadines? $135. $125. You hear me? A used tire.
But COVID prices have gone up all over the world because of COVID. I used to do oil change for $50 before COVID. Now it's $85. I used to buy bacon shack for $9. Now it's $18 for bacon shack, 100% increase. Those things have gotten more expensive since the pandemic.
But you see,
all over the world, not just in Vincent.
You see, but when you like right now, you be thinking about putting on a coat for fall. You understand? I should not necessarily call your program and tell you should wear shorts and t-shirts. Because I ain't walking in your shoes. But like I said, we really have an important program to deal with today. And you're taking
Carl, may I just respond? Mr. Fox, before you go.
Go ahead.
I just made a very, very important and I think necessary and appropriate point that maybe the listeners are not necessarily interested in things like sandals. Oh yeah, we can discuss these things because sandals is part of a broader economic push by this government. But most of the families in St. Vincent are concerned about where their next bread comes from. How are they going to send their children to school? And so on and so forth. You talk about the increase in prices after COVID. Understand this. It's impacting here in the United States, but mostly because of private corporations jacking up their prices and price gouging. But at the same time, salaries have increased here in the United States. I mean, a lot of states have raised their minimum wage. What happened to St. Vincent and the Grenadines? So we have to, we can't compare apples and oranges sometimes, right? If the cost of living in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, we know have jumped drastically since COVID. What is the government doing to alleviate that? Those are the pertinent questions that we need to ask. Right? Not to disrespect you or anything, because I do like your contributions. You bring a great perspective. You even provide a lot of knowledge to folks like me who are a little bit younger and who may not remember certain things happening. And I do appreciate that. But there are times when, and I think, to be honest with you, I listened to your presentation on the Sports Highlight program, and I don't think it was really unwarranted, your personal attack on Alex.
No, Alex was interjecting.
Fox, oi! I done. You hear?
Yeah, let's move forward. Let's move forward.
Yeah, sorry. Later.
Yeah.
Nice radio. Good afternoon. Good. Hello. Good afternoon.
Carlisle.
Gunny,
man.
Hey, Gunny, how's it going?
You must not entertain that fella. I am going to attack him and tell him, keep off of Nice Radio. Leave the people, when you all have your topic set up how you all want to do it, he interjects every time and try to veer you all off the topics.
Hey.
He does it in his sports program. That's why me and he and Alex have confusion. Do not veer people from what they plan to do. Keep off. If you can't make a substantial contribution, keep off the program.
All right.
I gone.
Thank you, Gunny.
All righty.
Morning.
Good morning, Doc.
I didn't realize Gunny was still alive. I want to be still living in Montreal. It's nice to hear Gunny voice. Could Carla, are we going on to your other program right away? Because just one medical caveat.
All right, go ahead.
So simply, so this is, we've been on this thing about cancer and so forth, and Doug, glad to hear that your nodes your prostate specimens are all clear. That's a good sign.
Nice.
Right?
Wonderful.
we have spoken before about cancer, cervical cancer here, but for women in particular, and I just want to bring this forward, yeah? There is a very common cancer and it's very silent, and a lot of women have it and they don't find out until they're late, all right? So I just want to say, right? We have this thing, oh, you're getting fat, your tummy big, you look like you're pregnant, right? Men tend to have develop a fat abdomen as they get older. Women probably not so. If somebody tells you that and so forth, and you're a woman, you should probably go and get it checked out and go and see a gynecologist. That you have a woman in your uterus and you have two ovaries. And ovarian cancer is very common. I think it's about 1 in 40, and it is silent. You don't get signs and symptoms of it, and you get lots of other things. So you have bloating, you have things like indigestion, etc., and so forth. You may still have a bit of gas, etc., and so forth. But if your friend remarked to you, especially if you over 40 years old, and again, 40 seems to be the cutoff age for a lot of these things, but it can happen to young women as well. And you think that your tummy is getting big and large, and people telling you you're getting fat, just go to your gynecologist and say, please check and see if my ovary is normal size to me and so forth. Because you could have ovarian masses. Not all are cancerous, by the way. A lot of times you just have big ovarian cysts in the abdomen that could be taken out, and that's it, end the story, and so forth. But please go and get it checked because ovarian cancer kills. It's very silent. It's the only cancer I know that at stage 1, it is already spread. You know, we spoke about the stage 1, 2, 3, and 4 for cancers. When you have ovarian cancer, right, stage 1 has stage 1A, which is a single ovary is involved. Stage 1B is 2 ovaries involved. And then stage 1C, where cancer cells are already spread into the fluid in the tummy. So please go. If you're a woman past the menopause or even before the menopause and you have abdominal bloating, you have these funny signs of indigestion, um, and a bit of constipation, etc. It for sound like it's a bowel problem. It may not be a bowel problem. It may that you have your ovaries are not doing well.
Thank you, Doc.
All right, thank you, Doc. Thank you, Doc. Well, I'm trying to line up the other guests, but for some reason, all right. Let me try another way. And oh wow. Some music while
Yeah.
I
While you line that up, Carl, I like to say to the people in the southern states, they are being brutalized by Helena.
Yeah.
And as of now, I think Helena has took at least 51 lives here in the States already, and caused a couple of $1 billion worth of damage. I mean, billion. And I said to my friends in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, especially my friends and my family in Union Island, who was devastated so bad by Beryl. If we had the land mass that Beryl had stayed over the land for that period of time, what a havoc that would have reaped, like they're doing in the United States.
I didn't hear about this hurricane until last night. I heard him saying that a hurricane approaching the United States. How come that was so quiet? So none of the Caribbean countries were affected then?
Because it developed over 24 hours. It was like really quick. I mean, over 12 hours, I think, probably, Doug. Yep.
Yes. Well, it go from just a tropical wave over Cuba and Jamaica, and sooner than enter the Gulf, where the warm water is, it come up to Category 1 to Category 4 within about 18 hours.
Yep.
But you see that's a new phenomenon there, because before they used to come across and they strengthen as they come across, and now what you have now is it coming across as a tropical depression and then strengthening in the things. So climate change is a very real thing, eh?
Yes,
a couple of years ago we had a similar thing where it went all the way up the eastern seaboard of America, and then came across back to the Atlantic to Europe and affected Britain.
Yes.
So just be aware.
Hello. Yes. Yeah. Good morning, Marty. Yes.
Good morning.
Go ahead.
Hi, Matty. Good morning. It's MacArthur. How you doing?
Yes.
morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Give a little plug for the what's the bar name again? Midnight. What's the name of your establishment again? What's the name of the
Business?
Yeah, the name of the business. Yes.
After that.
After Dark. Yes, Marty from After Dark in Layu.
Okay.
Yes. Tell me, you have any sauce today, Marty? Yeah, again, your plugs like rain.
Very hot. Now off. Ready to eat.
You have what? You have sauce?
Sauce is ready to eat.
All right.
All right. Mm.
All right.
Carl, we're putting his order now.
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
I'll put it up when you come down.
All right. Okay. Yeah, put the champion on the phone for me, please. Put the champion on the phone.
Yeah, let me tell you good here because I'm a little bit in the kitchen.
Okay, Matty. All right. Good to hear you, Matty.
Okay.
All righty. All right.
Hello, my brother.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Hazelwood.
Yes.
Good morning, my brother. How are you?
Good.
I'm listening all morning.
Yes. Well, we're having some technical difficulties, but we're working with what we have. I came today. I came and sat and spent some time with you today. This week. What was Wednesday? Wednesday. I think I spent some time with you. And let me say, besides the football story, I got an insight in you where somebody whispered something to me while I'm talking to you. Somebody passed by and say, "Hey, you must come with your camera one of these days." And he does go in the kitchen and make your own tea. He does go in the kitchen and make your own breakfast. That sense of independence is what I'm calling, especially about today. But let me read a little bit as to what I submitted to the Vincentian. We didn't make the newspaper, but let me read what I submitted to the Vincentian. The Layu Cultural and Sports Association is once again revamping its sporting activities in the Central Leeward community. This initiative is through soccer, as 8 teams compete at the Layu playing field for a trophy in the name of William Sturdy Hazelwood, now blind and presumably in his 80s. According to Wade Jackson, the decision to honor Mr. Hazelwood was a simple one, as Sturdy was an integral building block to where the playing field stands currently. The Vincentian caught up with Sturdy at his residence to document the journey through the eyes of the now blind Mr. Hazelwood. Seemingly staring without focus, Sturdy recalled the area representative, Mr. Arthur T. Woods, Labour Party stalwart Sammy Ballantyne, in appeasing his constituents, negotiated to purchase the property from Miss St. Hill in 1977. Recalled when the announcement was made by Dingy Exeter, then the Sports Association president at a community gathering, the meeting mash up as men and women armed themselves with cutlasses, axes, and hoe, and in a fevered frenzy to clear the land of many coconut and lime trees. He chuckled at the memories, saying, "Man drink coconut water till their belly bust." Woods also secured the use of a bulldozer from Public Works, driven by a man from Connery.
I remember that.
Upon the commencement of its use, it was discovered that huge boulders were in the dirt and presented a further hindrance. Much to the dismay to Sturdy, Arthur Williams and Grafter Isaacs moved the bulldozer to Vermont, which brought Woods to physical tears. Longwater OTI, saying, "Every time I do something for my people, them, Labour Party in brackets, fight me down." The grass planted was another community effort where men and women dug grass patches and using a handcart to carry them. Sturdy was appointed groundsman with a promised salary of $14 per month. But Sturdy said to me, Mr. Douglas, I never collected 14 cents. Part of his duties was to water the grass using a bucket, using the nearby river. A sprinkler system was later added. Years later, Mr. Abbott, overseer from Miss St. Hill, came with two white men, stating that the property was not paid for and started taking measurements to sell residential lots. But swift action by then area representative Herbie Young and Prime Minister Mitchell saved most of the playing field. As Sturdy has said, a lot where the houses are on the southern side used to be a part of the playing field. But what was so amazing about your experience, me sitting there with you, was the fact that, despite having the family support with Marty, your daughter, and your son right next to you, you still have a sense of independence that is applaudable. And what we're talking about this morning is overcoming obstacles, overcoming disability, working with disability. I remember my grandmother, she also lost her sight when after she retired from Fort Charlotte. And she too would go to the kitchen and make her own breakfast, make her own meals. What used to be really scary is when she would grab the pepper bottle to put pepper in her food, and refuse the help, of her grandchildren and children and what's that. And also Sturdy, part of the panel is Baby P grandson, MacArthur Young.
Grandnephew.
Grandnephew. Okay. Yeah. All right. Venad's son. All right. And he too have a problem with his eyes. And besides that, this week, I think it was last week, I met a young man coming from down the Bayside. Not a young man, around my age, middle age, coming from the Bayside. And he too was completely blind. And he says he don't walk out on the main road because it's too busy there. But he was walking from memory, completely blind, from the school and heading up to like almost up to the mountain side of he told me where he was living, but I can't remember it. But this program is to get an insight into your sense of independence and how you manage. If you can give a history as to how you would have overcome the all of a sudden you can't see no more and still have the get up and wear it all to help yourself. Mac, you want to start? Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
I prefer to let Mr. Mr. Hazel, do you want to take first shot? You want to go first, explaining how you lost your vision and how you were able to get back your independence?
Yeah.
Okay.
In 1974, I had the glaucoma from the back of my head. I went to Dr. Ono, and he tested me and everything, and he told me that time I have all my children go with me and my wife. And he told me that I must not pay no more money to any doctor because I can't see again. But from that time when he told me so, I didn't get down and out. I started to build my confidence up. And I changed my direction, what I used to do. I do things that I know I blind and I could do. I continue to clean fish. I will clean a bucket of fish alone.
Wow, wow, wow.
I used to bust my coconut, dig them out, and grind them and grind them. Then I buy a machine. I just plumb it up on the table, and I bust the coconut into half. And I grind out every piece, but not the shell. You have to know when you grind the coconut, whenever you salt in the place, so you have to stop. If you go too much down in the coconut, you will get the hawks coming in the warehouse. So I used to gauge all of that. I used to, and this is from that, and make myself useful. I go to my bathroom, I like a bed as my life.
Right.
You go out in the porch, I go out in the yard. Go down in the kitchen, I just make my team a cup of tea myself, you know. I get one in my hot water in the flask, and I take my teacup and make a cup of tea myself. All that for myself. Then in the night, I get up, you know. I listen to my television, enjoy myself. So I don't make, I don't even think about me anymore. You know? My sight don't mean nothing to me anymore because my brain is real. I have full understanding. I got my brain functioning properly. So I use my brain because I could remember a lot of things that happened. Now this morning I was trying to get on to Carlisle. You hear me?
Yeah, I'm hearing you. Yeah, go ahead. We're
I
listening.
was trying to get on to Carlisle this morning to talk about the hospital they were going to build in Calaqua, where the college is. And you know why the hospital was better right there? A lot of people don't know. The two longest parts from the subway is from Calaqua, and they use the two longest parts from the subway. So the point is, if you're in Calaqua and subway, stay right there. You're in Layu, stay right there. Anyhow, you go different from the Grenadine, you're going to cost up money at the city. So that way you see they put the medical home and the poor home in that area long time live. You see? So when they talk about the hospital, that was the correct place to put the hospital. Because when they suffer Europe, those areas, they didn't get the amount of dust. They didn't get the amount of stuff coming from as they could get from the other area. So there's a lot of things I know.
So, I mean, you think you rely more on your hearing, than you rely more on your hearing now that to do things. I mean, how you know, like what you hear when the water is boiling as opposed to seeing the water boiling. And like I said, we having some technical difficulties this morning, so you know, my brain is not. My brain. Maybe I should close my eyes. Maybe maybe I'll do better if I close my eyes and concentrate. But
This is the point. What really happened? If something happened to you, you give up hope. and you start to cry and say and this, you make it worse for you.
Okay.
Now, 90 years of age, as I did, the 2nd of July, gone day, the same day the hurricane hit.
Okay.
This is the hurricane hit.
Uh-huh.
That was my birthday.
Alrighty. Well, I thought you was young. I see you're in your 80s. So congratulations, man. Yes.
Yeah. From 90 years of age almost. And then past me 90.
How does he know what day it is? Someone has to tell him, or he keeps checking his mind.
I don't know where day it is.
Yeah. You ask, or you
I'm
just
not
keep
close.
a mental check all the time?
Now, let me tell you something. I just send my children, my grandchildren, my great-grandchildren birthday when they come. I do I get my phone here. I just use my phone myself and call my children then. I got a phone number in my head and I call them whenever I want them. Yeah?
So do you see the keypad then, or you don't?
Yeah, so I make myself active.
Okay.
So nobody have to really worry. They call me for my lunch, my whether my breakfast or my dinner. I know where my chair is. I know where to go and sit down. I know where to go, and I use my lunch. I don't even go and wash my cup when I finish. I wash my plate, soap on my plate and everything, and turn them down. So I make myself hungry, you know. Too much people suffer because they take on what happened to them. So that's how I live all the time until when the Almighty God. When I get up in the morning, I pray for the whole world. I pray for all who I know, all who I know. If it comes to the fighting war and all them. So I make myself evil. And I thank God for my memory. I just had a lot of information about food because I love food. No? So anything to do with sport or whatsoever. And you ask me, now let me ask you something, Carly. You know where the Center Kingston is?
What was that? The Center Kingston.
You know where the Center Kingston is?
Yes, you said it was right at the barracks where the cannon is.
People because
yeah, we spoke about that before.
Right in the center of Kingston. The police station in the center of Kingston. Yeah. And that big iron stake, you see, they jam up there in Burton, you call that the tongue buoy. East, west, north, south. That is the tongue buoy. They don't move that. They don't care what kind of project you're doing, they don't move that.
I hear you.
You know?
I hear you. All right. Like I said, let me ask for excuse because there's a lot of things was concept. Yes, Mr. Mac, if you could interject on your experience. But Sturdy Miss Mac is also visually challenged and he's
I know my own good friend life friend man.
Okay.
But he don't make that worry him.
Yes, like I said.
You don't make that worry him. Should I worry him? He put out the information that I put in, inform the whole world.
Yes.
You know, and that's what it's supposed to be. When I used to go by the school in the for the blind, we used to play domino. We have our own domino we used to play. We have our own domino, but they have grid.
Yes.
So you could see the numbers and then.
All right.
And we used to slam down them when you go. I used to go all over to visit the other blind people, them, because a company in England where you could do sponsor, where you could sponsor things like they have about the blind. They didn't make me the spokesman for the group.
Okay.
So you have to go out to the lady in the school, go visit other people. I go out Georgetown, Chatty Bill, all about Kesban. When I want to go down, I just I used to get tell about this drop me. Never one used to go down, this about drop me up the office, and he come back to me.
Oh, wow.
So I make myself useful and not take out my brain. But what really strength my brain is, let me really tell you how I get so brain quick. I used to work on the government shop, right? And one day we went down and his bill took some big stone to go Vermont because we were building a wall in Vermont. That time was Jerry Scott was in minister for that thing. And when we turned the school gap coming down where this fella natural that in the corner there, the shock brakes cut me. So I was over and the truck behind, one conductor and a girl and a lady was in front. So I said, boy, the truck started to speed go down the hill. I said, if I have dead, let me dead in the old so half the truck. And I have the truck and I slide and then I get my hand get break, my left hand get break. And the doctor tell me, boy, turning up and turning up, is drive the pressure right up more in the head and send the blindness further. That, yeah. So I get blind quick because I still used to work already at the glaucoma, still used to work on the stuff. And from 1972 till now, I did. So I have to give God thanks and praise who have blessed me with. I could still make a contribution.
Yes, very much so. As a matter of fact, I remember going to a town hall meeting at the Leyu government school, and it was I heard the then representative refer to you as a living encyclopedia. And you mentioned you see, I think you told me that the last time we spoke, you told me also that a lot of what he said at the opening of the playing field, the launching with the
Give them all the information.
yes, with the grandstand when they cut the
I
ribbon for
give
the
them all the
grandstand.
information so that they could make that speech.
Yes.
It's a minister.
Well, Sturdy, I think they should give you there should be something that you should keep. It's good to know that you have the trophy now and it goes to the next the winning football team. But they should actually give you something to keep. Let me get that again.
Yeah. But the football, what they have in there, you? Yeah, my name there as the.
Yes. Your name, yes. So William Sturdy Hazelwood,
Yeah.
All right, and it was good. The thing was, I think it's Mr. Miller that sent the trophy. Mr. Miller that sent the trophy to you, if I remember correctly. I don't have my notes in front of me, but let me give praises to Mr. Miller who sent you the trophy. That was very insightful. You didn't wait until the funeral to give Mr. Sturdy the praises that he deserves. And today, like I said, I think this was supposed to be so much better done, but the problems that I had with regards to getting the thing moving, but we still got an insight as to not giving up and overcoming your obstacles and not lying down and crying and being depressed and say, well, you can't help yourself. You still find a way to. You still find a way to help yourself. You know.
Well, I make my contribution when I see fit to make.
Yes.
But there's one thing I don't do. When I call on a program, I respect people. I don't cuss people in the program. I don't do that now, Charles.
I hear you.
I don't call them no alcohol dependent. That's not my plan. If I have to address you, I'll address you like how I supposed to address you. One time, you get a joke. And this is not a real joke. This is serious. Mr. Hamilton called my home.
Oh boy.
And he told me like this. There's a black man night on the program where we have. Both fans and then I said, no, nobody doesn't black you. I said, call the program. So he said, you think I must call the program? I say, yes, don't stop call the program. All you have to do, you make your contribution in a proper way, and that's all. Yeah, right. Then he come to me, he say, you think you should call once our prime minister? I said, yes. He said, why? I said, let me tell you something, Sammy Glenn. I have respect for people, and if I have to get in contact with the prime minister, I will address him as the prime minister saying this, and he's going to do it. He told me, so you against me? I said, Mr. Hamilton, you're your own man, and I am my own man. If you don't want to call me, sir, Dr. Gonzalez, the prime minister, you know, he boss about that on me.
Oh, Lord, all right. We're going to leave that alone. We're going to leave that alone. We'll leave that alone.
I have to tell him, don't call back my phone again and put down my phone.
Oh,
so from that, I don't tell me.
Yeah.
So
We're going to leave that. We're going to leave that alone.
But they get to fight for. Yes.
Oh, wow.
And I definitely talk that bad word. And I will never forget.
All right.
Where is he?
Yeah.
All right.
Doc, is any questions that you want to ask? Any questions you want to ask Stordy? Any questions you want to ask Mr. Hazelwood? All right.
Well, I thought we are gonna focus on disabilities, but Mr. Hazelwood is blind. I just want to say that I welcome his depth of knowledge. He seems to have been a man who has traversed almost all of the states and knows quite a lot.
You Dr. Lecoq?
Yeah, that's
yes.
Yes.
Dr. Lecoq?
Yes, sir.
You know me and your father were only great friends?
No, glad to hear that.
You play
Yeah.
Pool and billiards?
Yeah. But he was a barely man. But he also went blind in his latter years.
Every practice he wanted to put a ball in. When he come in, man, he was really, really good friend. And your mommy, when she used to sell your marble and cake and things, I used to sell my children and my 4 children when I had no money. I just would go to my mommy the cat and she tell them, that's why I used to call me Story. Just tell them Story, and she would give my children what they want. And whenever they're going to play, mommy look at you. You say, in that days, for 25 cents, you know, okay, for 25 cents to their grass and nothing. My 4 children, smaller, on Angus and so I know your mommy. I know when I was living up street.
Okay.
I know when I was living up street. Yeah, you. What did you say?
Upstreet is for the older ones. I think I was born at Montrose. I think I was born in Montrose. The older ones were upstreet.
I left from the street and go Montrose.
Yeah.
You left from up there and go Montrose when the lady went by there and up there and build the house up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was saying that my father also went blind in his older years from the same problem that you talk about, the glaucoma.
Yeah.
Which is Yeah, so a lot of people know what glaucoma is, but glaucoma is really having a buildup of pressure in
Major tell me
pressure
exactly because me and
pressure
Major
in
don't
the
get
eyes
along good.
itself. It's
I
like
just
having
call him
hyper.
on my one,
Yes,
and give the information and things like that.
yes.
Yeah.
So glaucoma is hypertension in the eyes, basically. The pressure in the eyes are so great
Mm.
that it
Mm.
squeezes the nerve that comes
Mm.
towards the eye to give you vision and eventually go
The
blind.
optic nerve. Yeah.
Yeah. So your eye, the virtuous humor really has to replenish itself. It can't sit itself. So you have things at the side that glands that produce the fluid that's in the eyeball basically.
Mm.
But that
Mm.
has to drain out. So it
No,
drains out at the angle. But the
when
angle you could
you
have what you call
visualize,
narrow
when
angle
you visualize,
glaucoma.
when I got Sunday morning to the noise, he usually the
Yeah.
man used to sell me my eyes when I come, when in market, they because to sell me the cut no cone and thing down like that.
Mm.
Sunday morning, I
Okay.
could do cut me half black eyes to me, put
Mm.
in me focus bag of put on him.
Yeah. So
All them
study
people
I
watch
just
that
telling them about
put up this
glaucoma so
stuff.
that they could have a little understanding of this
Them don't
glaucoma thing.
realize all they come from poor family. The father come from a poor thing, but he didn't make himself poor. He make himself
Right.
poor by the part in education. And that's
Yes.
why that way a lot of people don't understand.
Yeah.
I
Today's
got
actually my
this
grandmother's
friend,
birthday.
right?
Coincidentally. No.
Okay. There's a lot more to talk about the China English.
Yeah. So she was a Richardson from Barley.
Mm.
Huh?
Yeah, so I was explaining glaucoma basically. So you have
Mm.
you have wide angle glaucoma, you have narrow angle glaucoma. Some
Yeah,
glaucoma
yeah.
could be treated
Mm-hmm.
surgically, but not everyone could be treated surgically for glaucoma. And in fact, one of the consequences, my father had narrow angle glaucoma, and being black puts you at a disadvantage in that the angle tend to be closed very quickly. And if you do surgery, because we tend to produce scar tissue quick a lot, we black people, then it closes off the
Right.
angle completely and you go blind.
Right.
So I
Right.
think that happened to my father that he had an operation in the United States, and when he came back, he actually went blind,
Mm.
um,
Yeah.
and didn't and no longer needed medication. But I have to say he wasn't as adept at doing things himself as I hear
Mm.
study is at the
Mm-hmm.
moment.
Mm.
Doing his own.
Maybe because he lost his vision later in life, so that could
Yeah.
be a factor. Yeah.
Well, that now is
When
an advantage, you see, because you're aware of
when
you
my
have a
doctor
spatial
come to visit
orientation,
me,
whereas if you're blind from day
let
one,
me tell you, I
you
don't have much
learn.
Yeah. Yeah, but that there's also the emotional and psychological component to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't smoke, I don't drink. I never
Mm.
smoke, I never drink.
Mm.
Oh, wow.
I usually drink a so I cut down a lot of the things, I would drink more coconut water and all them kind of things. So me don't want
Mm.
myself with a whole load of thing where I know ain't good for me.
Right. Right.
So
Excellent.
I just live normal.
Mm.
Eat where I know good for me.
Right.
And where I know it ain't good for me, I don't drink coke and all them kind of things. Nah.
Right.
I don't even drink booze. I don't drink Guinness, all them things. Them not for me now.
I hear you.
Mm.
They don't drink them things.
All right, let
The
me.
doctor come by me and say, hey, Road, I could be without test, Because every time I come, your pressure and sugar they same place. Yeah.
Mm.
So
All right,
that's how I do it.
study. Let me get a little personal now.
Mm-hmm.
Is any advice you can give me as to get a lay you girl?
When advice I could give you,
Yes, I'm a single man. Any advice you can give me how to get a lay you girl?
what do you give me advice about what?
No.
Yeah, study tell him they're single and they're single. So you could read between the lines.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, I glad to listen to you all.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Carl is useful, a beautiful woman. Mm.
Yes.
Anytime my friend want any information, where you know I could give him, Carlisle,
Yes.
you're free to come in my home.
Yep.
So
I think I'm gonna start making it a habit.
Give them to my friend Dub.
I am surprised that Carlyle didn't know where the center of the tongue was because his father was a police.
Yeah, I
And
did.
and his father should have been able to tell him that because I know where the center of the tongue was. But you know that is some of these things that we miss all the time because I doubt if a lot of children, especially Kingston children, know where the center of the tongue is. And they
Yeah.
walk past it every day probably and don't know the reason why this thing is planted there. It is because that is the exact center of the tongue. And we have lots of a lot of these things. A lot of these things come out too because last week when Doug's brother was
there's an
on,
audio
I remind of his father used to call in a lot, Mr. Howard, and tell us a lot of historical things and put things in perspective.
Hold on,
issue.
Struddy saying something. What are you saying, Struddy?
Could you tell me where you see beautiful building in Kingston?
Boy, we gonna argue about that. We gonna argue about we gonna argue about that. I think
more beautiful building in Kingston.
The Catholic Church is one.
Beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
That's right.
The Catholic Church has to be one.
Beautiful.
Oh, most definitely. The Cathedral of the Assumption should be one of
Catholic
them.
Church,
Yes.
the police station will be two.
You go in them and share the bill. Keep any other building do like that.
Yeah, and the courthouse.
All right.
That's my guess. What's the answer?
The courthouse. The courthouse is something else. But you have a lot of great building in Kingston that they break down. They should not have break down.
Yeah. So, it's true because the where Ken Mars is, that used to be the old governor's residence, and that was turned into a shopping mall, and that should have never have happened either. I agree.
You know, we used to bring it Planet Ball with them people. We used to go where they had a place up Palova. We used to let Barson go up there play Planet Ball, you know. Bruce Bonedi and Congo Bonedi and them guys, you know. See?
For the sake of clarity.
Best fast bowler. We used to go over Edinburgh and play. They had a nice little ground day. I don't know if they still got a ground day. He used to go to the left he used to say, yeah. I've been called some kind of bowler for England.
They don't have the ground there no more. They don't have the ground there no more. They have the Drippy Eustace secondary.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Okay. All right. Well, Struddy, thanks for coming in. Thanks for coming in. We're gonna move on to Mr. Mac now. He's gonna give us his experience. Unless you want to stick around and listen to Mac's presentation.
All right, okay, move on.
All right then.
All right. Blessings.
Take care.
Blessings on you. God bless.
My great friend Dub. Hope everything will work out. Nice and all right.
Everything done work out. Everything done work out wonderful for me. It already worked out.
All righty. Take care, Struddy. Thanks.
Pass back by me when I come down, man. Pass back by me.
Yeah, I can bring him. All righty then. Take care.
That's one.
Have a good day.
You too.
You too. You know, that's one of the persons I have to really visit whenever I am back in my stamping ground in Liu. Shorty is indeed, for not just because he's a person with disability, a similar disability like mine, but he's such an inspiration to me. And before I go deep into my presentation, there are a couple of things that jumped out from his presentation. One is the fierce sense of independence that people with disabilities, especially people who are visually impaired, gravitate towards. You know, there is something that each one of us as human beings aspire to, is a sense of dignity, and independence is part of that. We
especially living in the culture where we are from, like in a place like St. Vincent and the Grenadines, being independent, not being dependent on someone is something that is big in our culture, right? And I could talk about the whole history of the tabooism associated with disabilities and persons not wanting to be related to or have a close relationship with a person with a disability because they feel as if the ridicule, the ostracism, the marginalization, the fact that the society ignores you would be part of their lives by proxy, so many things that we can talk about. The second thing is he talks about how he still managed to do things for himself, hucking the coconut, grinding the coconut. And this is something that I'm very, very, very familiar with. You become more acutely aware sometimes of your ability to use your hands because you tend to use your hands more. Your hands become an extension of your sight, right? He talked about his amazing memory, and I would say unequivocally, there is empirical evidence, especially in my own experience, that people who are visually impaired, we tend to use a bit more of our brain real estate because we have to constantly analyze everything. We have to analyze our spatial awareness. We have to analyze conversations. We have to analyze when we are moving from point A to point B and so many things. Even when you're sitting down to eat, your mind is actually working, your brain is working in the background as to, okay, what do I eat first? How do I eat? And so on and so forth. So every action is almost as if you are planning every action you take. Because that's how you ensure your safety. That's how you ensure your continued independence.
Yeah, that's exactly what the gentleman was saying. Like I said, I don't remember his name, but the gentleman that I met walking up the street said that he did not go out to the main road because he bump into somebody.
Right, Mark?
Yes.
Do you hear better and smell better and taste better? I mean,
I am laughing, right? Because not a lot of people know that I am also hearing impaired.
All right.
And let me explain. I do wear hearing aids when I go out, and it's not something that I'm ashamed to say, because it's part of me. And I would say this, and the life of Shodi himself, I know would agree with this. A person with a disability is what I am, not who I am. There's a difference. We do not allow, and he said as much, he does not allow his disability to overwhelm, subsume him. But let me explain. My condition, my visual condition, is part of a hereditary condition which I inherited from my mom. My mom is also visually impaired, but her condition is a little bit more serious than mine. I still have a tiny bit, like 2% of usable vision. So I can tell when it's day, I can tell when it's night. I can just look at the window where I think the window is, and when the light comes through, I can, know that it's daylight.
What do you have? Is it Waardenburg's?
No, it's called retinitis pigmentosa.
Retinitis pigmentosa. I was going to say, I know that retinitis pigmentosa. All right. Okay.
Yes. And that combined with the progressive hearing loss is part of a condition known as Usher syndrome. And it's a hereditary condition. There's a lot of research going on about it, what causes it. Because the same thing that happens with the retina, which are the sensory cells at the back of the eye that picks up light and, transmit the image that you're seeing from your eye to your brain, and then your brain interprets the image, stuff like that. The same thing happens to your hearing cells, which are those tiny hairs in your inner ear that helps to pick up sound. So when sound comes in, your eardrum vibrates, and there are 3 tiny bones that connect your eardrum to what they call your cochlea, I think. And the cochlea has, I think it's fluid filled, and it has these tiny hairs. And the louder the song, the more those sensory hairs would move, and your brain would interpret that as a loud song. The softer the song, the less they would move, and your brain would interpret that as a softer song. But of course, as you may also know, Doc, that your air also controls your balance. And one of the issues that I have is I do suffer from a mild case of vertigo. It is not constant. It does come on maybe within a second or two. If I'm outside, I would feel as if I'm not aware. And if I don't hold on to something, I can find myself on the ground and injure myself. So that's why when I'm outside, I always try to be close to somebody or with somebody. Although I do a lot of independent traveling because I go to work and come back home on my own. Right? This diagnosis was realized around 2009, and I was declared legally blind around that time. I was still an elementary school teacher. I was a science teacher at the time. I spent about 9 years teaching elementary science up here. And unlike Shorty, I went through an almost debilitating psychological reaction to my vision loss, because even though I have always had vision problems for all of my life, to the point where I have never been able to read a chalkboard in any of my schooling, whether elementary or secondary school.
Wow.
And some of my studies suffered, especially my math. I was never able to pass math in either primary or secondary school, and I'm not afraid to say that. Right? So the transition was very difficult for me. I also developed a love for reading when I entered St. Martin's. And Francois could attest to the fact that I was always in a book, and I had to hold the book really close. I used to wear these thick Coke bottle bottom style glasses. And, you know, unfortunately, our culture at the time was very, very intolerant of people who are visually impaired or people who are hearing impaired, right? I remember there were times in high school when I was heckled for, you know, holding the book so close when I was reading, you know, affected me greatly, but I never lashed out or anything. I tend to internalize a lot of stuff. But then I got the opportunity to come to the United States, and I went to doctor after doctor, and I have to give a lot of credit to my grandparents, my grandfather and my grandmother. They took me to all kind of doctors. I ended up wearing glasses, and from glasses to contact lenses and so on. And they helped my everyday vision a lot. But it's just that sitting in a classroom and looking at the chalkboard, never able to read. And it was hard for me to admit that. It took years and years and years for me to admit that I had that experience. Right? So when I came to this country, I was diagnosed. I ended up losing my job around the same time for 2 reasons. One, my ability to manage the class, came into question, and this was a personal realization of mine. Right? Classroom management is the sole responsibility of the teacher. I have always been a conscientious teacher. I cared about every single student in my classroom. And to come to the conclusion that I no longer had the spatial or situational awareness to ensure their individual and collective safety, I had to make a decision. And it was the hardest decision I ever made because I loved teaching. Loved teaching. Right? And so that coupled with the fact that, as I said, I developed a love for reading in St. Martin's. I remember when I entered Form 1, there was a little shelf with some encyclopedia on the side. It wasn't a complete set. And by the time I moved from Form 1 to Form 2, I had read every single one of them. Right? That's why I understood where my name came from, General Douglas MacArthur. You know, a white man who made a promise to the Philippines that he would return, and he did return to free the Philippines. So that's why he's a folk hero in the Philippines right now. You know, so when I started losing my vision, I had just a couple, maybe within about 6 months or so, there was a bookstore in Kings Plaza that I used to visit, and I used to buy my novel. I love reading novels, you know, all genres. And they were going out of business. It was Walden Books. And I bought about maybe almost 10 books. Never got to read them. And that was almost like the Himalayas falling on me, because reading is something that I thoroughly enjoy, to the point where I would sit down and read a book without eating until I fell asleep.
Passion.
Right? So, yep. So when I realized I was no longer going to be able to read, that kind of exacerbated my depression. I sank into a deep, deep, deep depression. I didn't want to go anywhere. I didn't want to speak to anybody. I mean, it was bad. Until one day in school, and I used to do all these little things to try to adapt, right? And in spite of the fact that I was losing my vision, I also suffer from a condition, and Doc, I don't know if you might be familiar with this, called photophobia, which is an ultra sensitivity to light.
Light.
Yes, and glare. So I used to, when I got the diagnosis and you know, had the discussion with the doctor and all of that stuff, and I started coming to school 6 o'clock in the morning, because I don't want to be caught outside when the sun is up. Because when the sun is up, my visual impairment became more expressed, became more pronounced, became more observable, right? And one morning it was raining, and I was wearing glasses at the time. Some rain got on the glasses. At that time, the glasses were still helping me a little bit. And when I entered the building, I ran right into a wall, because the rain water had speckled the glasses and I wasn't able to see properly.
Wow.
And I remember, and this happened in front of some students, and that's when my whole world collapsed. I remember sitting down, because I used to enter the building through the cafeteria. And I remember my deputy principal came to me and said, "Mr. Young, what is wrong?" And I broke down. And I cried. He took me into his office, and I explained the situation to him. And thank God, you know, God works in such mysterious ways. It's amazing. He immediately picked up the phone and called someone in New Jersey who worked with the Commission for the Blind in New Jersey. She then called someone who worked at the Commission for the Blind. And mind you, all of these things I was not aware of, right? I had, as I said, I had always internalized my visual problems, my hearing problems. And so I was able to get in contact with a counselor at the Commission for the Blind, and had a meeting with him, and he explained all of the different resources. And blindness, visual impairment, I tend not to use the word blindness too much, because there are different degrees of visual impairment according to the Americans with Disabilities Act. There's so much resources out there that I was not aware of. I remember when he told me that there is a library for the blind where you can get books on audio. And for the life of me, I remember the first day, they actually sent me the machine free to read the books. And they also sent me a couple of books to sample. One of them was a book called Duma Key by Stephen King. And Carl, listeners, Doug, I put in that book. And it was a weekend. I read that entire book between Saturday and Sunday, non-stop. I was a proverbial and literal drowning man clutching at a straw because I was able to hold on to something that I thought I was going to lose. Right? Another thing that I did, I reached out for professional help. I went to therapy for years and years and years. And I remember my therapist telling me, he said, MacArthur, listen, you're still young. You're extraordinarily intelligent. Why don't you think about going back to school? I said, I don't know, because, this created a whole new set of anxieties because, of my experiences in school, going to teachers' college. And if I tell you the experience I had at teachers' college because of my visual impairment and my hearing issues.
That was based on
But
discrimination?
were they recognized in teachers' college by the tutors, or did they just assume,
No.
well, you're
No.
slow and you're not like the rest, and they
No.
treated you as such, as if you're a dud?
I would give you an anecdote. Professor Marx taught us English. I think English A, use of English at college. Very beautiful lady, one of the most pleasant teachers I've ever had. And I remember we had to change rooms one day because the teachers' college has always been prone to flooding, right? And we went in there, and I actually came into the classroom a little bit late. Everybody was seated, so I was looking around for a seat. And she said something to me, and I didn't hear her. And I asked her to repeat herself, and she was very soft-spoken. And she repeated herself, I still didn't hear her, and the entire class started laughing, And that just destroyed my day, I mean, listen, what I'm telling you guys now are stuff that I never told to anybody. And I'm revealing this to the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Life for people with disabilities, especially people with visual impairment, or even people who are hearing impaired. It's not easy.
But you're bringing a very interesting thing to the fore, you see, because that is part of the problem we have in especially in small countries. And we tend to demonize kids and think, well, they're dull. And I was telling Carl I wanted to speak about neurodivergence, and he said, oh, he's going to speak about Mac, but I think it would have tied in quite nicely with today's thing. But I'll speak about it on another day. Because recognizing this is very important. Now, I think did you struggle with night vision as well? Because I think that's what happens.
Oh, yeah,
Retinitis
man.
pigmentosa. You have your
Yes.
cones, which I think
And the
interpret
rods.
color, and the
Yes.
rods, which do perception.
Yep.
So the rods, I think, go first. So you have difficulty at night, basically, and so forth. And then because retinitis mean infection, but in this case, it's not an infection. It's a genetic condition, basically. And pigmentosa speakers are pigment, red pigmentosa.
Exactly.
So you have an infection of color, basically, if you want to put it that, where you can't recognize colors. But that could destroy your whole interpretation of things, etc. Where you want to see something red, it looks yellow, or it's green, it looks like something else. But this is a slow growing thing as well, and it just goes on and on for the rest of your life till eventually it goes.
Right.
What job do you do now, if you don't mind me asking? Because you said you used to teach.
Yeah, it took a while because well, let me just fill in the gap a little bit before I talk about my current job. My social worker eventually encouraged me to go back to school, and initially I wanted to study environmental science with a view to becoming a marine biologist, because I'm very well versed in science. I taught elementary science for years and years and years, to the point where I actually received an award because one of my students won a competition, and the congressman who represented my area, I think it was for Dr. Martin Luther King Day, also presented me with an award for excellence in teaching. I don't say these things to people because it's not about me. What I'm sharing today is about bringing a sense of knowledge and sensibility to the plight of people with disabilities. So she eventually got me, and I said, I don't want to jump into the 4-year college like that. I would try the 2-year college, which is the community schools here in the United States. So I registered at the Borough of Manhattan Community College. I had to take an entrance exam. And
did they give you extra time?
Yes, they did, and I was able to use an accessible computer, computer that speaks, and that's another aspect of what I will talk about too.
But before you do that, I mean, I'm thinking the biggest challenge is the psychological. I mean, how do you
yes,
the psychological?
Well, that is I'm glad you asked that, because there is a sense when you're losing your vision of impending darkness. And I'm not just talking about physical darkness. Because when you lose your vision, and I know people sometimes in our culture, in our vernacular, use the word dark-sighted. Yes, vision do not become dark necessarily. My vision, if I may describe it, is standing inside of really thick white smoke or fog. Everything just looks white or light grayish, right? But the psychological aspect of it is, how do I continue to fit in the society? How do I continue to contribute to the society? You become disabled and you become a ward of the state and you receive Social Security disability income or whatever, right? You become a dependent of the state. You become dependent on family members and friends for helping you around and all of that stuff. And so you have to navigate this psycho-emotional, like almost a mountain that is put in front of you. And you either climb that mountain or you die.
But it is very daunting. I just recall like my father, when he went to the United States and had his operation for his glaucoma and came back, he actually went blind, but he was so scared to even reveal it and so forth. So he came out because he knew to negotiate his way through the house and nobody suspected it. And I only found out one day when I came home, I walked into the house, he was looking straight at me through the door, right? And I walked so softly and then he said, "Daddy," and he almost jumped out of his chair because he was so scared that somebody else was in the house with him. And so, and then I said, "But what? That he didn't see me come from." Then I realized he had gone completely blind. And thereafter, anytime he was left in the living room, he would go and lock the door because he became quite insecure that he could be there sitting and somebody could walk in and he didn't know.
That is the operative word. Insecurity.
I had a similar experience, Arwin, where my father, and I didn't.
Guys, you hear me?
Yeah, give me a second.
Dougie.
Where I didn't actually reveal it to the rest of my family until after my father's death. I was bringing my father from the bathroom, and there was something interested on TV. I was holding his hand. I was holding him by his shoulder, and but there was something interested on TV. So while holding his shoulder, I peered over to the TV upon walking into the bedroom, and he walked straight into the bedroom wall. Hit his head on the bedroom wall. He's like, "Carl, you gonna hit me? Carl, you gonna hit me?" I'm like, "That I didn't hit you. You walked into the wall." And I put his hand on the wall, show him where the wall is, and then then I asked him, I said, "Dad, you're not seeing." And he put his hands to his lips and said, "Shh." And he didn't want me to tell anybody. And I never told anyone until after he passed away. You know? So like
and Doc mentioned the whole time that all comes down to what Doc talked about just now, insecurity. And it's not about the physical insecurity in terms of not wanting to do certain things or being afraid to have an accident because you think that, you know, instinctually you think as a visually impaired person, every time you trip or you knock something over, you think that the whole world is looking at you. It's a psychological, but there's also as I said, the psychological component of it, where you become insecure within your own self. But I tell you something, and this is something that I'm going to reveal to the whole world. I got down on my knees one night, and I said, God, if you know that I'm going to lose my vision, I beg you, take my life.
Wow, it's deep.
He didn't. And I do believe now that he spared my life for a purpose.
I believe he didn't. I believe you didn't lose your vision. You gained your vision then. I believe you gained your vision then, actually.
Wonderfully said. Wonderfully said. Because you know what is my mantra? And I remember saying it to my therapist, and she actually went and created a graphic on her computer and printed it and stuck it on her wall. My physical eyes were closed so that my spiritual eyes can be opened.
Yes, I don't know if you heard me mentioning, quoting Mr. John Keats this morning. It says,
"Yes,
impossible is for the unwilling." You know, and
exactly.
we take that and doubled it with what I want to change to the national anthem. Where there's a will, there's a way.
There's a way.
Yes.
And I thought about, I listened to Razam's song this morning, and I thought, I reflected on what we're going to talk about today. And it is right in the middle of that, perseverance and strength. Because I went to school. My grandfather died within 2 weeks. And this is somebody who was there with me every day, him and my grandmother, because I was raised by them. You know, loved them to death. You know, he's the one who inspired me to go to St. Martin's Secondary School. And it's one of the greatest educational experiences I've ever had. You know, talk about brother Edward establishing that library. I used to live in that library.
Let me ask you something. Were you ever taught by Mr. Sipney Hall?
No. My music teacher was Mr. Jardine. I had
Sip would have taught English language and literature.
English
and literature.
That was for me. That was P. John.
The reason I'm mentioning that is that today is his birthday. Happy birthday to you, Sip.
Happy birthday. And I have to remember to wish my friend Momo.
Sip would have been before Carlisle, because I taught there, and when I taught at St. Martin, Sip had already left. So Sip would have been before that.
I went in there 85. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All them time.
Yeah. But going to school, I remember initially it was nervous, but you know, talk about an experience. And I cannot say anything negative about my college life here in the United States. I remember going to BMCC, and within the first week or two, I realized this is where I belong. Right? They have every school in New York, well, at least every college. There's an office responsible for providing and seeing to the needs of students with disabilities. They have different names, but that's what they are, right? So I was able to get accessible materials. I was able to get books on tape. I was able to go and take my exams because I wasn't able to take the exams on paper. So the professor would send the exam over to the Center for Student Disability Services, which is the one at Brooklyn College, which is my alma mater for undergrad and grad. And then they would convert it to like a PDF and put it on the computer, and you use the computer. Computer has a software that we use that I was trained on called JAWS, which stands for Job Access with Speech. And that software is a life changer because right now, that is what is helping me with my job.
Actually, that is in the where you just right click on the text and
yes,
and the computer.
Yes. But this one is specifically designed for people with visual impairment because it was designed and created by people who are visually impaired.
All right, we got Dougie. We got Dougie. Stick up in. We got Dougie. Dougie didn't get the Edgewood in Edgewise, and it's his station. So
that's nothing. Carl, that has nothing to do with
Bossman. This is my big brother. This is my bigger brother here, Dougie.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with a station of mine. I just want to make sure.
I just
want to make
sure
my audio because remember, Teller was on the road. I had to go and do the whole, and then I was listening to the whole program basically, and was fascinated by a lot of things. I just want to add my 2 cents to things. I myself, I have to go and do operations for both eyes. I've been trying to get this done every time I'm here. I have some issues. But many years ago, Dr. Bacchus gave me Timolol for glaucoma to stop me from it developing. And I think it's been doing well so far. But I had several challenges with my eyes. I ended up in NYU in New York. I remember
that.
Yeah, I end up in Advent Health here in Orlando, and I'm now dealing with a company called Laser Vision. So it's a lot of challenges. I know what it's like, but to be scary, it's kind of scary when you so accustomed being active, and the things that I do, I pray God I never lose my sight.
Yep.
I would have to do cataract operations though. I've been delaying that, but I would see what and have to schedule that in a way conducive to things for me. One of my elder sisters in England just had it 2 days ago. Things are what they are. But I want to go back to story 1 minute before I come to you, Mac. And I just make a joke with Story. I say now that Carlisle moved back to Leo, he's bad talking me with Carlisle, so he's not my friend. But when Victoria, his wife, was alive, I became close to Story when his grandchildren, Matty's daughter, and then his husband, Pepe, was sick. So I had a concert in Leo to raise monies to help send them to take care of their dialysis situation. And we became very close. So I visited him a few times and Victoria. And one day I went in because, I wasn't sure Story was blind, the things that he was doing. So I was doubtful. So I thought he was tricking me, So I went in the back. I came to the shop and his wife was in the shop. And she said, you want some red belly? Or it was tartar red belly that they made. And, I love that. So I said, sure. She said, well, Shodi is the one, your partner is the one who's growing all these coconut and thing, I went in the back and I said, Shodi, where you are? He's sitting on a bucket. And he had a bucket with fish and a bucket with coconut. And I see Shodi cleaning the fish. And then he would just take his left hand and throw the fish in the other bucket. So I said, nah, man, Shodi had to be seeing. He can't be dropping that thing in the bucket without seeing and and the bucket was not exactly right under him. It was probably about 3 feet away from him. And he was throwing that stuff straight in the bucket, like if you see in the bucket. So I put my hands over his eyes without him knowing, So I said, Shodi, you sure you can't see? He said, man, I tell Doug, you're blind, man. What's wrong with you? I tell you, blind. And this man clean all that fisherman, him sit down. Then he went and he got up and there's some other water on the side. I think it was a pipe. I can't remember if it was a pipe. Wash off his hands and so forth and whatnot. And went back and sit down. Just automatically, put his right hand to the side of him, take up the grater, and then take up the bucket with coconut and the other thing that you're going to grate into, and start grating coconut, and that come right down to his fingernail, and he ain't touching that thing and eat off his finger. I said, because it's so fascinating. So I just wanted to say that I witnessed that, and that really. Just the second thing I wanted to say, based on your experience about people mocking you and so forth, one thing I give thanks to my parents for is that they never allowed us to make fun of disability and animals.
Right.
When you see people disabled, if my parents, especially my mother, well, my father too, if he catch you laughing, just skinning your teeth, just making a slight remark, you will get one lick in your head. Never allowed us. I always say, don't make fool of people who are disabled, blind, and or walking funny or doing something. And you see animals, said, do not ill-treat animals. Never ill-treat animals. I guess you grew up farming and you had great respect for that, you know. And
right.
But yourself, Mac, you know, I getting to know you, and the things that you told me that when you're going to work and so forth, and knowing your situation, I'm always fascinated that you are on your way to work, and they have normal people who can't find a way around.
and if I may add to that, Dougie, where I live, where I work, right? It's a massive. I don't know if Doc has ever visited it. It's at the end of Farragut Road where that ends. There's a massive warehouse complex there.
I know the place.
My office is right in one of those warehouses. So I have to literally direct the driver who is navigating the vehicle to the exact position. And sometimes they can't even find it. I remember he dropped me off, took me out of the vehicle, because I tend to try my best to learn spatially where I am. My office.
Do you use a cane?
Yes, I do. My office has chargers for electric vehicles outside in our part of the parking lot, right? So I said, look for the chargers, because you know electric vehicles are very ubiquitous in the United States right now. So everybody's familiar with the electric chargers. He dropped me off. They say he can't find the door. So I said, okay, just stop right at the chargers. And I said, just let me hold on to your shoulder and I would show you exactly where the door is. When I found the door within like a minute and a half, he said, wow. You know? And, you know, this whole idea about fascination with what people with visual impairment.
You're fading in.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I have experienced that. I mean, going to school, I remember one of my favorite professors, she's originally from Grenada, and she has the distinction of being the first Black anthropologist in the United States, which is I felt so proud of her. But she and I became very, very close, Dr. Paula Sanders. And she used to tell me, she used to say, MacArthur, I don't know how you do it. Because I took 2 classes with her. I took anthropology and I took human geography. And one of the things I always prided myself in doing when I was in school, I participated to the fullest. I created this close relationships with my professors. There was one professor I was doing research studies, and she was explaining the different types of research, and she was talking about things like statistics, averages, mean, mode, you know. And she was giving examples, and I was calling out the answers to her. I was the only visually impaired person in the class. And I remember the first time I answered the question, you could have heard a pin drop in the class.
And because they calculated dependent and you weren't.
Exactly. And one of the things that I hope this conversation brings to people in St. Vincent and the Grenadines and within the broader listening audience, do not do not categorize, do not marginalize, do not judge a book by the cover when you are dealing with a person with a disability, because you do not know what that individual is capable of. Our first black governor of the state of New York, David Paterson, who led the New York legislature, was blind, was visually impaired.
All right, we got
Does
several.
your cane give you Bluetooth instructions?
Sorry?
Is your cane Bluetooth enhanced?
No, there's one that I'm trying to get my hand on called the WeWalk, but that's another thing that we struggle with in the United States. We have been lobbying the government to negotiate more with the producers of these accessible equipment, because as of now, it is left, because we live in a capitalist system, it is left up to the producers to set the prices, and then the government just go along with whatever price is set. For example, my laptop computer, an ordinary HP NV 16-inch, that you would pay about $1,200 for in the store. After that has been equipped with the requisite software, the value is over $5,000.
But Mark, I'm glad you mentioned that, because I don't think those things are beyond the reach of our governments in order to assist people who are affected in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Because we spend a lot of money on a lot of rubbish. I don't want to put it so to speak. And I'm sure we could invest in people who have disabilities in that way. The other thing I want to say, religious has played a great part in the way we look at disability, because I encounter this in incidents when people have problems where they need to have amputations. They'll tell you, no, I don't want to have an amputation. I want to go back to the Lord with all my body parts with me. Because for some reason, if you die and you don't have your foot, you're not going to be accepted in the kingdom. These are real things that affect people
I know, right?
in the country. And so people delay surgery and they'll die because they delay a simple operation that could probably save their life because of it. And then we tend to shut away people with disabilities and shun them and treat them differently. I picked up a young person. I don't want to take away too much from you. 12 years old, was dyslexic. And all the guys, we were in the cadet band, used to call this chap dunce and he can't read, etc. And I realized he had dyslexia. So he used to come to my house and we used to try and figure out ways how we could get him to read and how we could associate words with things, with colors, etc. and so forth. I didn't have any training in dyslexia at the time and so forth. But you know, that guy came to the United Kingdom and joined the army, and they gave him one of the same computer things there. Enhance his reading. He could read anything. He could write any letters. He could do anything he wants to do. And he's now a captain in the army. A captain. Yeah. So when you recognize these things in people and you direct them in the proper way, they do make excellent progress. You know, and I don't take any credit for that.
Stick up in, gentlemen. We got several people who are on hold, and we can get to speak to them. I think Bigger Biggs is on the line. Bigger, you still there?
Yes, I'm here. Guys, wonderful program as usual, eh? But my question, I want to know, good day to you, Truth Seeker. You ever heard about the term karate corners?
No.
Okay. Well, when that was first brought to my attention, I was kind of blown away, because it was diagnosed by Dr. Uno, karate corners, and I said, what? And this is something that will eventually lead to blindness. And this was happening to my children, two of my children, eh? And when I found out that this thing, how severe this thing can, because it progress over time, eh? It's something like glaucoma that progress with time. And if left untreated, it would eventually lead to blindness. And when I found that out, that thing nearly sent me through the roof. Because if the United States, they eventually have to end up, and they get some treatment. And I understand there are only 3 doctors in the world who can deal with karate corners, eh? And I am telling you, what I'm hearing here is the same thing that was happening to them. Because because seriously too, because one of them was having serious problem of learning, and I was wondering what was happening.
Exactly.
And you see, like you talk about you at one time you were wearing glasses as thick as a Coca-Cola bottle.
Mm-hmm.
One of them had gotten to that stage that they were wearing glasses that thick, and I started to get worried. That it happened so that when the mother called me and tell me that they find somebody who could deal with them, and that time they didn't have insurance yet, it was $10,000 separation done on them that they could start to wear contact lenses, because these lenses had to be made specifically for them. And I'm telling you, what I'm hearing here coming out here now, vision is not something to play around with. You know what I mean? So
and I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that, Bigger. Thank you so much. I'm glad that you said that, because one of the things that we have to come to grips with, whether we have visual impairment or not, or whether we have a normal eyesight, quote unquote normal eyesight, is our vision runs our life. I don't think a lot of people understand how dependent we are on our sight. I remember telling somebody, explaining it to somebody not too long ago. I said, when you go into a restaurant, you go into a Chinese restaurant, for example, and you look up at the different menu options and they have the pictures. More often than not, you would choose something off the menu because it looks good to eat.
Yes,
it looks delicious. You don't even taste it yet. Yes, exactly. When you get into a relationship with a woman, where does it start? You look at her, she's beautiful, she's approachable, and this is another thing that people with visual impairment have to struggle with that, because we lack that spatial awareness. You having a conversation with a woman, a young lady, and she's telling you the nicest thing, but you can't see the expression on her face.
Makata,
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now you say that. Let me just say this. I watched a documentary the other night. It was a blind person, a blind woman, and a gentleman was trying to date her. He just fell in love with her. And she said, well, he said, well, you don't know how I look. She asked him to describe him. So he described himself, what he looks like and so forth and whatnot. And he was a very good looking man, but he described a kind of not so good looking feature to her, And she said, let me touch your face. And she ran her hands over his face, and she started playing with a little computer that she has, and she actually drew his feature,
a composite of his face. Wow.
And she asked her, is that what you look like? But it was done in kind of braille-like.
Yes.
But she couldn't touch it. And actually, she said, well, you give me a wrong description of yourself. That was fascinating. But it was true. It was a documentary about blind people and things that fascinating things that they do and can do.
Because, I remember my grandmother used to scrape the size of coins. In effort for her to know what coin she's holding, she would turn it on its side.
We do the same thing up here too. Yes. And the whole discussion about the importance of vision, and I think I got the sense of Bigger realizing the magnitude of loss that his children would have suffered. Right? Had they gone and lost their vision, the kind of challenges that they would have had to face. And I applaud him for acting very swiftly to rectify that.
That's the reason why I am so close to Carla, because Carla don't even know that he indirectly help me to raise that $10,000 from Felix.
Right,
Yeah?
right, right, right.
Because I realize that he helped me to push those advertisements. We were
Right.
able to raise that $10,000 because when the mother was saying, because send me could send, we even cry for me. I said, no, I don't want us to go down that road. That is not us. And I fought like hell, Mark, just to make sure my children them vision get corrected. And then the reason why that day when I told them that one of the second best investment I ever made after giving them the education was rubber. Because she said, no, daddy. When you pay that money for us to get retain our site,
right,
right. Rebecca comes out. Yep.
Right, right.
So,
Because the point is,
people don't love the
thank you, Bigger.
under the pain they're going through sometimes. So let me tell you in case anybody want to call brothers.
All right.
Thank you, Bigger.
Yeah. All right.
The point is, Carl, right? When you lose your vision, you lose a significant portion of your life. Right? That you have to fight, in many cases, tooth and nail to regain. You lose your sense of independence. You lose your sense of self. And in some instances, your sense of worth is even challenged. But thank God, I found myself in the United States. As I said, the resources are astronomical. I got to go to school, and I'm proud to say, as I said, when I started school, I felt as if I belonged there. The students were really, really gracious. I mean, I'm talking about young, middle-aged, and old, right? To the point where I graduated with honors with my bachelor's. And then I went on to do my master's at Brooklyn College. I did my bachelor's and my master's at Brooklyn College. I graduated within the top 5 of the class at Brooklyn College, the class of 2019 at Brooklyn College. And this was no easy accomplishment, you know. One of the things I would always say to other people who are visually impaired or who may be suffering from, who may have a disability, is your attitude determines your altitude. Your outlook in life determines how far you go in life. And this is not just for people with disabilities. It's for everybody out there. Right? When I went to school with a purpose, to the point where my ex-girlfriend was saying, boy, and she used to see how upset that I got when my grade dropped below an A. He said, boy, you're always showing with these A's, eh? And I said, well, I mean, I have to set a bar for myself. I can't set it lower than I think I could achieve. I have to set it to a point and work towards that, you know? And, you know, to go back to answer Doc's question, I am working with the city of New York, and my work is just computer-based. I process violations for the Department of Social Services because the Department of Homeless Services comes under them. And when people who are in shelters and so on report violations, whether it's rodent infestation, roach infestation, or hazardous material being present, they call 311. The city records that. Sometimes the city takes them to court, and so they keep a record of all of those violations. So I go into the database and I prepare those violations for my immediate supervisor.
So that
I know. I think they should invite you to carry.
That's a perfect example of disability not being an inability.
Yep, exactly. Hi, Rev, how you doing?
Hello, gentlemen. Great program again. Great story there, Mark. Just want to make a comparison. Thank God for developed countries.
Oh, yes.
You know what I'm saying? Mark, if you had never left St. Vincent, you were done. You know what I'm saying?
Without a doubt.
Yes. And the American was it something, the Disabilities Act for it.
Yes,
I mean,
the
we
ADA,
thank God
the
for that
Americans with
because
Disabilities Act.
government here has literally created the environment normal, as normal as it can. Even
that's right.
Even
That's right.
The sidewalk curb, the curbs are made in
Yep.
such a way that you could ride up a wheelchair or something. So
Wheelchair. Yep.
get in the bus, you have parts and so on.
Yeah, the buses, they call them they call the buses kneeling buses because the buses can actually
Kneeling bus.
lower to the level of the sidewalk. Yeah. Yes.
Remember when I was in one of our classmates from Marval, Trinidad, used to wear those thick glasses. I mean, I'm saying this out of guilt now. And, you know, we sight, you know, one of the guys, you know, and he's wearing his glasses. And the man used to walk into war, you know, and they was studying Greek as well. For tough lot. Like, but this was called tough lot. And we started calling the guy tough. Very cruel. And I don't, that's not necessarily encouraged in America, but in the Caribbean, we still do that kind of foolishness, you know, for those activities. So I'm hoping this program today is not just about. One thing, I used to spark my kids for two things. But one, guessing. You don't, when I'm school work, and you're guessing, you get lashed. You get never tolerate guessing.
Right.
Another thing, I used to spank for the wall and stuff like that. You know, we like to laugh. People can't be laughing at people's calamity, you know. So we need to adjust, and I'm glad that people were able to go still get your education.
Yep. Yep. Thank you, Rev.
You're one of the better sons.
Most definitely, not one.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, on the local line. Good afternoon. You're live.
Yes. Good afternoon, Doug.
Good afternoon.
Yeah. This is Huggins. Ardent listener for Civic Being program, and just this program is and has been. Friday, Ben Exeter and we were in Layu, and we were. I am the candidate for the NDP for the.
Welcome.
Yes.
Yeah.
Visited several homes in Layu. I told Ben it was already dark. I told Ben I need to see Mr. Hazel. I had to see that man. Something I decided before the candidate was announced. I know he was always calling in.
Right.
So I decided anytime I go into this. So Ben took me there, but then Ben had to leave because it was a bit, and then I told him, and he and I had great conversation. I told you about the playing field, you know, he gave me that whole history. It was just amazing as to his physical body. Of a 90-year-old, right? That really struck me. But his conversation, you know, the kind of encouragement that he gave, but affected by all of it. Story, you know, I listen to him and I see him. He's like, I mean, he comes across spoken. Never that, you know, he had this. Listen to him. I'm really and it actually drew me out. So, and you guys Saturday, the prostrate
right, right.
And all of you who give your take and with
right.
I led here from 2014. Has been 10 years now. Called Project Men 20. It has been to bring man into his original. What was God for him?
Right.
We did things like teaching men about, the role as a husband, as a community person. And one of the things we also did, and we programs throughout 2017, it was health. And we did conferences specifically addressing men's health. So when you were doing that last week, it's really was coming with this personal testimony. I'm certain that many men will even issues as it relates to their health and to do check. Just wanted and congratulate you for the work you're doing.
If I may, is this the new candidate in Central Leeward?
Yes, please, it is.
Oh yeah, it's really great to meet you. I've heard a lot about you, and at some point we would certainly speak, because my heart, my soul, my navel string, everything is in Leyu. And knowing that
I know that, and that's why
I must congratulate you also.
Hello?
Yes.
Mark, you're going in and out. Mark, your audio going in and out.
Oh, my audio is it better now? I think my audio.
I think he's gone completely now. Hello? Hello?
I'm hearing Dr. Leacock. Dr. Leacock, I'm hearing you.
Yeah. I believe that he's rapport. Let me just say good morning to Conroy, and welcome.
Yes.
Welcome to Nice Radio.
And congratulations on your appointment. Congratulations.
Thank you, Dr.
It's not an appointment. It's a selection.
But not just that. Conroy, as he said, since I think it's 2008, I can't remember, but he has always been promoted Project Men 2000, which is a good program dealing with men. And I congratulate you on that program for over the years that you, and we help to promote that on Nice Radio.
Nice Radio live. You carried all of our press releases. You carry everything for us every time. Even at that time, you did not even know who I was.
No, I didn't know who you were. I just responded to your requests, and I didn't know who you were at the time.
All right. We see I see Mark is having problems coming in. Doug, let me. Mark is trying to come in on the WhatsApp. Let me bring him in there.
Could I close out, Carlisle, because I expect my daughter and I want to be ready.
All right.
So could I close? I
will
listen.
Sure. Oh, I met your grandson. I met your grandson. Wonderful young man. He ain't look nothing like you at all. Yeah. Go ahead.
This is Chadney's son, is it?
I will clear the line from my end. If Matt gets back in and he wants to interact, I'll be willing to call back.
Okay, great. Thanks.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
So let me bow out here. Let me say thanks, guy. Let me say good happy birthday to Bex Gonzalez. Today is his day. As you know, Bex has his own medical challenges. He's been in Florida for quite some time dealing with that. Hopefully I could speak to him later. But he is today is his birthday. And I want to say happy birthday to him also. So thank you guys, Mac, and thank you for, the expose. Because until people, you see, even in the Christian community, the reason why people give testimony is so that other persons could be encouraged that if one person could do that and be brave enough to say, I had all these difficulties in my life spiritually, and here I am now doing well. Similarly, in medical conditions, we need sometimes testimonies to encourage other people to look after themselves so that they don't suffer and their family don't suffer along with them. So I want to thank you very much, guys. I will have to take a bow out from here, and I guess I'll talk to you down the road. God bless. Okay?
All right, Dougie. All right, Francois, you there?
Yeah, I'm here now. Is Mac still out?
No, I think we got Mac back now. Mac, you there? Mac? All right, I'm seeing him, but I'm not hearing him.
Yeah,
Doug.
I was just listening there, and it reminds me, a quote came to mind there. It says, I had no shoes and I could feet. And that's why in the past, sometimes when people say, talk about your troubles, your experiences and so on, your difficulties, sometimes I hesitate because every time you think your thing is bad, so like just listening to this as Dougie called it, the expose from Mark and Mr. Hazelwood, it kind of makes you feel blessed. You know what I mean? You feel like, well, things ain't too bad with you after all. You know what I mean? But in reality, it's the things that he talked about there. We have some serious issues with them on a local level. I remember just last week, Friday, a lady called in and she was talking about visually impaired people in St. Vincent. And her complaint was that some students from this special needs school there was no transportation right now at the time that she was speaking for the blind students or the visually impaired students. And sometimes when you listen to these things, you say to yourself, well, what are we doing in a country like this where we have so much of these issues on a small island like this? And people are focusing on so many of the wrong things. Like we just get things so twisted. Like our priorities get mixed up. And it's 2024. And you would think that these things would be just simple, very basic things that people could, like everyday things, But they become such a challenge in the school system itself. And I've seen that where, as Dr. Lika was saying, they paint everybody in one brush. You go into the school, and if you're not doing well, then you have a problem. You're done. So you can't make it. Rather than seeing, and the strange thing is that the teachers' college itself teaches people some of these things. They learn, they read about these things. But when they go into the classroom, it's like, you're not doing well, problem. And it's not about visual impaired or hearing impaired, it's just impairment in general. We have this negative attitude towards it. And unless it changes, we will be seriously left behind.
Like I said, we are.
But
guys, I'm back in
That
it.
is also part of our colonial legacy, isn't it? Because
It is.
we were inferior, and we couldn't learn because we were of a different race, and that has come true and filtered
Biological
through.
determinism, Doc.
Because when other black people now start to become educated, they then start looking at other black people who weren't as educated them as inferior. And Francois, do we do hearing screening and eye screening in schools? Because that is something, do we have a national program? Let's say children get screened. In Britain, every child gets screened when it's born for hearing. And then it goes for its eye screening. So they pick these things up early. So the point I'm making is in the colonial country now, they have moved on and they're miles ahead of us. And we still behind the grasping, at the end of the stick.
I mean, as a former teacher myself, and Francois, I'm back on. This is Mac. Thank you for jumping on. Yeah. In our educational system back home, I have a particular sense of the challenges that students with disabilities face. And I think the person you may be talking about, Francois, who spoke about, I think the Honorable Chevron John, to her credit, has been highlighting the plight of students with disabilities, especially students who are visually impaired in our school system, right? There are certain, even simple measures that can be taken, that can take place. And before I go, there is something called United Nations Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities. My question is this country a signatory to that? If it is so, they have solely underserved, wholly underserved persons with disabilities in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, right? Educational system, they brag about this, what they call so-called education revolution. An education revolution should encompass everyone, regardless of age, sex, gender, whatever.
But Mark, the education revolution has been something where the government talk the talk, but never walk the walk.
Yep, and the question is,
they have never put the systems and put resources behind having a proper educational revolution. It just you take all the children them and say, all right, fine, go to Farm 1, without saying, well, yeah, you could go to Farm 1, but you might have different abilities. Let us try and hone in on these different abilities and harvest the ones that are good. Try and improve the ones that are bad, When you go to Eton, right? Eton, which is the premier school in the United Kingdom.
In the United Kingdom, yes.
If you're good at mathematics, you go to the class with all the people who are good in maths. But if you're poor in mathematics, there's a separate class that you go to. And so you get focused teaching on maths. So you may be in the best mathematics class, but in the English class, you're in the poor English class because the English is not good. And I thought it was such a fascinating approach to education. That you teach people according to their abilities.
Because
we have all of these scholarships that the government brag about. I have yet, subject to correction, of course, to hear of a person with a disability being awarded one of those scholarships.
Anyway, time is of the essence. Doug Howard, if you could wrap up for me, please.
Yes. Yeah, well, as you know, I sit down and I knock after the live, so that's why I call back on WhatsApp. Very good program, and I understand how Mark feel. I understand how Mr. Hazelwood feel, and all the people who has this disability, with blindness, because when I grew up with my mom in Edinburgh, as you know, Carlisle, in the latter years of my mom, she was totally blind from glaucoma, and like Mark said, and like Dr. Litap said, my mom came to the United States and she tried all kind of stuff to get back her vision. She had operations, and she eventually lost her eyes, her vision totally around 2003, 2004. She go 100% blind, and she started getting glaucoma in her 30s, and she lost her sight somewhere in her 60s, and it's one of those hereditary diseases or stuff like that. It's very hereditary. So that's why, as Dr. Lick said, you gotta go and get your pressure checked in your eye regularly. Me and my brothers, and so on and so forth. So, we have some challenges. It's not something that we could change, but because of the technology and the modern medicine, so on and so forth, if you go and you get checked early, it have some prolonged things to help you. Some cannot be prolonged. Just like our topic last week and week before, and this topic here with blindness, it goes to show that when you go to the doctor, you have to get a full physical, including hearing, speech, and everything else, eyesight, everything else. You have to get a total check, not just go to the doctor and well, I feel good for the last year, and he right here like that. You got to go and get all the physical checks. So this program was home for me with my mom, and as you know, Carlisle, my dad go blind in one eye. You know that, but he in one eye. And as you get older, these are the challenges that comes up on you. And my thing is, you have to go and get your physical check regularly, because in modern medicine, you have health, and Dr. Leacock is a testimony to that. And with that, I say, great program. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Blessings, Doug.
Thank you, Dr. Leacock.
Yeah, so just a quick thing. Mark, you know you have some otoliths in your ears, some little stones like in your ear, and I hear you complain about dizziness. Sometimes they shift. And if you go to an ENT specialist sometime by manipulating your head, you know, they will probably get the otoliths back in place, and it may take away dizziness. And maybe something you could check out.
Okay,
Because
will do.
you know the semicircular canals in your ear, the ear is a fascinating thing. It's got 3 sets of semicircular canals, all at right angles to one another. That's so that no matter how you put your head, you will retain your sense of balance.
You retain your balance, yes.
So
Yes.
they have these little things in the
That's
otoliths
why
inside
when
it.
you spin around and then you stop,
Yep.
you see like the wall. Yeah.
So your otoliths might have shifted. But quickly, you know, retinitis pigmentosa, in case people think, well, this is something that you inherit. It could be what you call autosomal dominant, that is your father give you a part and your mother give you a part.
Yeah.
But it could also be autosomal recessive, where one of your parents carry it. But it's related to the XX. It could be also X-linked. So if your father have a daughter, you'll give it to his daughter. But the mother can give it to sons and daughters.
Right. Like my mom.
Yes. And so it comes down the family line. That's just to say. I have had cataract removed myself out of my right eye, and I have one in my left eye. I've got glaucoma. Both of my parents went blind. My father went blind, and my mother went blind in the latter years, and so forth. So I have an annual check for glaucoma. So I think the word that should come out here about people again is go and get, if you have parents or children who are wearing glasses, etc. When I told my parents I wanted to wear glasses, they didn't believe me that my eye was going. And so, oh, you want to be like a big brother Sinclair who was wearing glasses. I really didn't want to, because I hated glasses. I still do. So I'm saying to people, if you have visual things, indicators in your family, go and get that check. Go and think. So just today I booked my annual glaucoma check, which would be on the 24th of October. Right? And so I am encouraging people to do that. I don't want to get my little caveat about ovarian cancer loss, because it is a deadly disease that sneaks up upon our women. And I mentioned it earlier in the program. Please, if you think you're getting fat and you're a woman and you're not eating a ton loads of things and so forth, go and see a gynecologist. Ask them just to send you for a scan for your ovaries to see that your ovaries ain't doing something other than it's supposed to do. You might have fibroids in the uterus as well and so forth. It may save your life. So that's my closure for today.
All right, Captain Mac.
Yes.
First of all, I didn't remember Francois was here.
Oh yes.
Yeah. So well, again, it's very enlightening there by Mark, and I just hope that we keep doing what we're doing here, keep enlightening. All right.
Right.
But I would like to say to our people, to the Vincent public, because we're doing this with that in mind. Thing now. But we demand more from the leaders, rather than just paying the lip service, as Dr. Leacock said, and just doing things for political mileage. You know, let us hold them to the task and make them do the thing that they do right now in the school system, where they just take students from the school for children with special needs, send them to the school there.
Wow.
So rather than help, they actually hurt the children more, because they get lost in the system. They don't have the teachers who teach the students, and the students cannot cope, and so them fade out, right? So we just have to, keep them and let them know mileage, but things that would benefit our children and our future by extension.
Well said, my friend. Well said. Well said.
Captain Mac.
Carl, thank you, guys.
Just before, just could I, Carl, I try to quickly say, an audiometer is not an expensive tool. There's no reason why we can't have an audiometer and have a national screening program for hearing in the country.
Right. Exactly.
You know, it's not an expensive tool at all. It's a simple piece of equipment, right? That we could think, and it's these days it's computerized. It will tell you exactly what is the problem with hearing, right?
Right.
And of course, vision is the other thing. So I think we need a national program for children.
Yes, we do.
To have a check, hearing check, and visual check. It shouldn't be that mommy and daddy have to do it. It should be a national thing, and that is government. We have the money and the resources that we could do that because we waste a lot of money doing a lot of things.
Right. Thank you, Doc.
Yeah,
Carl. Thank you for the opportunity to share my experience.
Thank you. You know, you're inspiration to us.
Welcome.
You know?
Thank you. Thank you. The reason why I did this, and I know this was the primary reason behind you doing this too, is to sensitize the Vincentian public or the listening audience as a whole about the plight of people with disabilities, including persons who are visually impaired. And, you know, it is not easy to lose your vision, but it is a survivable experience, as testament, I mean, as testified to by myself and Stuart and perhaps others. My reason behind this is because since I lost my vision, I have become an outspoken advocate for people with disabilities, especially people who are visually impaired. I served on the 2 disability clubs in the 2 colleges that I attended here, both as vice president and treasurer. And we have done quite a lot of work. And so what I want to appeal to our listening audience, especially the people living in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, do not treat people with disabilities with disdain. Do not ridicule them. Do not think that they are less than you. They are, in fact, human beings. They are family members, their mothers, their fathers, their sisters, their aunts. Treat them with dignity. And this is something that we have been fighting for and we would continue to fight for, to be treated with dignity by the quote-unquote normal world. And trust me, as a person with a disability, the quote-unquote normal world is not so normal at all, it turns out to be sometimes, right? And another thing that I also want to wrap up by saying, do not feel sorry for us. We don't want you to feel sorry for us. We want your empathy. We want your care. We want your love. We want your embrace. So I appeal to my fellow Vincentians. If your neighbor is a person with a disability, check on them, him or her, from time to time. Treat them with the same dignity and love and care. Because as Vincentians, we have a duty of care for each other in our community, right? And to the government, listen, it is not a good idea to take a person with a disability and just put them into the mainstream of the educational system like that without providing them with the necessities that will allow them. Because under the UN Convention, it defines something as what they call reasonable accommodation. And what that really is providing accommodation to a person with a disability that brings them up to the same level as a person without a disability, whether you're in the school environment, you're in the work environment, etc., etc. Here in the United States, that is also covered with the Americans with Disabilities Act, which came into being in 1990 and then was revamped in 2008. So we are legally protected. What I would like to see in St. Vincent is a version of the Americans with Disabilities Act. For example, we might call it the St. Vincent and the Grenadines Persons with Disabilities Act. And it would provide a legal framework and a legal protection for persons with disabilities from being discriminated against, whether in everyday life, in their work life, in their school life. And these are some of the things that I would like to say. But in the interest of time, I will just wrap up here. And Carl, permit me to just extend birthday greetings to my wonderful friend and As a person with a disability, she does not see that. My friend Miranda Momo Peniston, originally of Peniston, Vermont area, she living in New York. She is my right hand. The young lady would do anything for me. And today is her birthday. I want to wish her a happy, blessed, wonderful, uplifting birthday. Momo, I hope you enjoy your birthday. And of course, to the wonderful people of Layu. And let me say, when I came home in 2012, first time as a person with disabilities, I was welcomed by my people in Layu. I felt a little bit of an angst about that coming down. But when I came down, my anxieties were displaced by the love that I received in Layu. So that's why Layu would always be number one for me. Layu strong always. Blessed love, everybody.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Now there's one more magic I want to create for the day. Let me see if it can happen. Wow. Last night I was looking at a movie. There was a movie, Bad Boys 2 was I think it was on BET, and I remembered, there is somebody that I would have mentored to, that all those special effects, all those visual special effects, is something that he does. As a matter of fact, I remember one time I saw him with a project. It was moving a bird from one flower to another. And, me too do some special effects, and, but I wouldn't pay as much attention as he did. He would have spent like about 3 days moving the bird from one flower to another. And I realized then that he would be one of the best in the world. Today, I keep in touch with him. He goes from country to country, some countries that I've never even heard of. In one of the best visual effects, special effects, visuals of the, as we know in the world. I'm going to try to call him. Today is his birthday. Maybe not. Plus it's one.
Hello?
Nudge Motion.
Hello?
Hey, Nudge Motion, you're live on Nice Radio.
Really?
Yes, you are. Let me tell you something about.
How's it going, man?
All right, I'm not gonna call your name, but let me tell the nation something about this guy. One time we were talking about how do you stay focused, because with what you do, you have to spend a lot of time on a small part of it. Like I was telling them before I got you on the phone, I was watching Bad Boys 2 last night with all those especially the accident scenes on the highway, and the special effects you make it seem like a car is flying into your windshield, and you seeing that on the TV, so you can be in the place. Person, one of the best in the world, ladies and gentlemen. Today is his day. Today is his birthday. I always wanted to do this to surprise him. And one of the things that he told me, he said, Mr. Douglas Part, I listened to the same thing over and over again. And I remember the first song he told me that he used this as a method was a song by Skrillex, if I'm not mistaken. We must shut the place. This. Happy birthday, son. Happy birthday.
Thank you so much, man. Thank you.
We're gonna mash up the place. We're gonna mash it up. Don't forget today's broadcast was brought to you with a kind compliments of Games from Games Pharmacy. Games Pharmacy open 7 p.m. to midnight. Yeah. Also brought to you with a kind compliments of Trending in the market opposite the also brought to you with a kind compliments of Jennifer Shepperton Wholesale. Deliveries Wednesdays and Saturdays. Shepperton Wholesale for 3 horses, cheddar, potatoes and onions. Mount Dew, Piedrax, Asolo, and more. 62814 is the number to call. Watching compliments of Time Center General Store, 25 years of watch 56735. Jamar General, 4572725. Naive International Logistics. Smithy's Apartments and Auto Rents, 455-75. Data System, 456-1128. Opening hours Monday to 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Sent then to working some 5869. My name is Carl Douglas. It's been my being at your leisure. From the base. It's been my pleasure being at you.
Turn up the bass and make some sound, boy, run. And we will end your week just like a Sunday.
When all is said and done, Jennifer Shepperton's Wholesale remains the one to be reckoned with. It's the place in all for your cushions and seizes, all types of pillows,